All right,
Guessing you-
5:45. Would someone like to recap from last week?
Portera. Done.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, not much happened.
Yeah, honestly, I think we had good combat. There was a tag team dispelling of the trash compactor, and then we were greeted by a friendly turtle mountain.
Sponsored
Yeah.
by Loctite Super Glue.
Turtleman.
Yeah, sponsored by Loctite. That is true.
And I was one number away on that D100 to get us into a fight with that Torterra when all those little guys surfaced.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will say that in my other D&D group, that we play very infrequently, but I played yesterday. I had to roll a D100, and I rolled a 100, and I almost took a picture of it and sent it to all of you
shit!
guys.
Nice.
So you can see that it can be done.
Hell yeah.
You should have
All my
taken a
rolls
picture
are
of it
failures.
because I don't believe you.
The worst thing was, though, it was for a really, I forget what it was now, but a really lame reason too. Like, I think it was like trying to figure out what door we end up at in this like chamber with like this thick fog that tries to disorient you if you're not supposed to be there because we weren't part of some college of something. And so we got to like this clerk's office we were looking for, but it wasn't really what we wanted anyway. So it's like, oh, what a waste of a D100. But
Dang.
alas.
Always the things that don't matter are the ones that take the best rolls. Yeah, that's a pretty solid recap. A lot of time spent on just about a couple minutes in game.
Hey,
Totally
why am
fine.
I not a monkey anymore?
I took the liberty of changing you back, unfortunately. All right. In lieu, since we're entering the Temple of Cassis, in lieu of a prologue. Oh, that's another recap thing. The prologue depicted how and who murdered Fern's parents. And whether or not they murdered both of them or just one of them.
Right, but it was them like talking about before it happened, right? Like how much of the poison do we need and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. 2 different doses for your parents. 1 dose to kill, 1 dose to make everybody else think that they were killed. In lieu of a prologue today, oh, Billy. Oh, no. I'm so sorry.
He's already exited.
He's already gone.
No,
he's already gone.
I saw him when he was leaving frame. The shirt was coming off, and I'm like, oh, it's a bad one. It's a it's a full disrobing.
I think that was another George Costanza thing. Didn't he go?
Oh, did he?
All his clothes off.
Watch much.
Yeah. Wasn't it? It wasn't to throw up though, right? Wasn't it just like going to the bathroom? He would take his clothes off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I saw something on Reddit recently too, where it's like every guy has had these experiences, and it's just like men like cradling themselves like between their knees, like naked on the. I couldn't see anything. It's Reddit, but like naked on the toilet, just like suffering from some like horrible gastrointestinal distress.
Did he say he had milk, and that's why this is happening?
And vinegar.
Vinegar and milk.
Vinegar,
not together. A vinegar-based meal, and then later he drank milk.
Oh.
And the combination in his stomach.
I mean,
that's D&D,
like,
folks.
That's regular for me, like buffalo wings and milk.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Yes, in lieu of a prologue today, I would like to ask your alternate characters question. They're going to be making an appearance soon. If you were still alive, what would your first course of action be? And where would you like to reappear on the material plane? So you can choose where to be ported, wherever you want to pick. Once you get there, what are you doing as your first action?
Are we doing a DM exercise?
Yes. Yes.
What are we answering here?
So this is
Was
as your
Brandon on the
alternate
shot
character.
camera?
I just joined the conversation. I'm so sorry.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. This is as your alternate character. So as Eric's father. If you were able to somehow come alive again, if you were able to rise from the dead, where would you like to be ported? Like, where in the material plane would you like to appear? And once you get there, what is the first thing that you would do? What's your first course of action upon coming back to life? All of you answered at the exact same time. That's so weird. There's like 3 notifications right on top of each other, very loud in my ears.
Hey,
Fair answer, Gendrul.
and she literally did. So
Right. That's true.
she literally had the offer. That's literally what she did.
It's true. That's true. Very canonical answer. Very apt, Lyra Wellerby.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
The most topical of the answers today.
Just an example, but just a place to be caught off guard.
That makes sense. Huh? Albarad. Figured I'd give it a whirl using the different names because I'm going to need to get used to doing that soon. All right, I will get back with Billy whenever he's feeling better. Maybe next week.
Poor guy.
All right. You are on the back of a giant landmass-sized turtle. Hey!
Back.
Hello.
Are you okay?
Oh no, I went and made myself throw up.
Now
I
are you
feel-
Feel better?
I feel about 60% better, but I didn't get it all out, so we'll see.
Go drink some more
I
milk.
wanted to
Yeah,
wash it down
more
with
dairy
some
would
milk.
be the-
Ironically, most of the milk was already passed through, so it was just.
Vinegar.
I'll spare you the details, but it was unpleasant.
Mm.
Well,
One of those.
so sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
We have a character question in lieu of our prologue today.
Okay.
From the perspective of Moth, from your alternate characters. If you were able to come back to life somehow, where would you like to appear on the material plane when you come back? And once you get there, what is the first thing that you would do? What's your first course of action? I will, while you're answering that, Billy, I will continue the setup for the next space. All right, you're on the back of this giant turtle, Torterra, for lack of actual name. And you're journeying across the what now feels like the periphery of the wilds, even though you know you are still well within the wilds. You're towards the southern portion, but you're not close to any of the actual edges. This feels like a much more calm space. It feels less chaotic. It feels more normal in every way. You do notice that the figures out on the horizon are still there. They are still numbered the same as when you exited the prison. They are not moving any closer or further away from you, just as they were before. So you're moving at a pretty hefty clip towards these mountains. It looks pretty sheer as far as rock face goes. Not a lot of things jutting out. Appears to be as much of a plateau as a mountain can be. Just a giant structure jutting out of the earth. There are no apparent openings, no mouths of caves that you can see, no doors that you can see. But even in the bright light of the midday, it appears to have a light purplish hue, a lavender hue around it. As you're getting close to this mountain, are there any checks anyone would like to make? Any conversation anyone would like to have? Any other
Okay.
extraneous thing that someone would like to do before we start? Or before you...
Eric
guess
talks to what's the turtle's name? I forgot. Eric asks,
nobody ever asks. Yeah.
"What is your name? What do we call you?"
You can call me... Oh man, usually when I do that, a name just comes to me in my head. I had nothing prepared for this.
Jim?
You can call me Bill.
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 Does Bill speak
Insight
common,
check.
or was it like primordial type stuff?
He speaks common.
Okay.
Yeah, he also speaks several other languages, but common is among them. Yes, so you can all communicate with him.
Okay.
I'm thinking about casting Longstrider is on Bill. So we get there faster, 10 feet per turn faster.
On Bill.
On Bill.
Okay.
20%.
That lasts an hour for 10 feet every turn. Additional.
Okay.
Would
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not terribly far away, but that certainly would get you there much faster if you're adding that onto his movement speed is 45. So that would get you to the face of the cliff in under an hour. You were looking at a few hours before. This is going to get you there in about 50 minutes. So you have some time, but much, much less than you would have before.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
We're gonna call him
So,
Bullet
yeah.
Bill now. 'Cause he's fast.
Bullet Bill
Hey.
now. Excellent. On a
Yeah,
road
he's
trip,
cruising.
Bill,
Yes.
the custom of a road trip is to either play music or have light conversation.
We've literally never done that.
What is a joke that you know?
Or Barlow's.
Fuck you, DM.
Start things off.
Quickly Google's turtle jokes.
Yeah, hold on one second. Joke that a turtle would tell.
I will tell you one, Bill. It's
I would
okay
love
you
that.
have one prepared. It's okay.
Oh, I have one prepared. I'm just remembering it.
What do you call a lesson on turtles?
I don't know.
Don't tell us yet. Hang on.
Tutorial.
I said don't tell us.
Do stuff.
Eric's the worst. He would answer.
Tutorial. That's pretty good though.
Where he gets really fucking offended. He's like, I'm not a turtle. What are you talking about?
He just jumps and all of you fly off.
What do you call I have one too. Okay.
Okay.
What's this creature called again? Like what species?
It's a Zaratan. Saratan?
What do you call a Zaratan who likes to argue?
I'm not sure.
A retortus.
Ha!
What do you call a Zaratan with no legs? Where do you find one?
Is the question what I call one, or where
Where do
find-
you find one?
I'm not sure.
Wherever
What?
you left it.
Oh.
Ah! Because it couldn't move.
Various.
I see. What is this? What is this creature's intelligence?
Probably. Please.
I know it has wild strength and constitution, but I didn't look at anything else.
Why is turtle wax so expensive?
What's turtle wax?
You rub it on your shell, of course.
I can't reach my shell. Also, my shell is covered with rocks.
That's what the wax is for. The rocks would slide right off.
Can I
Oh,
can I
shit.
study its shell and look for any crystals?
Its intelligence is -4.
Oh
What?
no.
Oh,
All the
no.
puns are over its head.
what?
He's not going to get offended by anything you say, though. He's just going to go along with whatever you're doing. He will answer the call, though, and he'll say, "I was told one joke long ago about smaller creatures that looked kind of like me. I think they were called turtles." She says, all of you have been telling jokes about turtles already. And he's like, oh yeah, also turtles are things that exist. What kind of turtles have fingers?
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know.
Snapping turtles.
Love it.
Keth killed himself.
So Herzog is asphyxiated and rotted away.
He's gonna
Bre-
commit
Breckle,
seppuku with the blade of lettuce.
Brackle banished himself.
Yeah, banish yourself.
Anything else non-joke related that I would like to do within the party with Bill, whose name might not be Bill. Who knows? He's got such a low intelligence. He might not even remember his name.
While Bill is focused on the path ahead, and just because I know I'm going to forget about this if we don't do anything, could at the rear of Bill, can I summon up one of my charmed? What even were they again? They were little things.
Method.
I charmed methods. One of the mud methods, and see if they have collected anything for me, gem wise.
Roll a D100.
Come on, 100. Get all the gems for my eye.
The one thing I was going to mention, I don't know if this has anything to do with your gem search, Trent, but like the session before, we found like a bunch of massive emeralds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, giant emeralds in that hand.
Oh yeah,
but
it's
from that ring.
I think emerald is not.
Oh, really?
It's not one of the gems that I'm like super keen on, but I would like to kind of get all of them, and I can't really use any of them yet until I get them polished down to spheres. But
that's why I wasn't sure if you needed them for your thingy. I don't know if it's your eye or.
Oh yeah, that episode. You're right. It cut off at a terrible time.
Giant emeralds.
Oh yeah, a lot of the important stuff happened after that cutoff point. All right, I'm gonna roll a D20, Trent.
Okay.
And that will determine. You're going to find a pretty large gemstone.
Oh damn! You guys rolled great on your D100s.
Yeah, baby.
Fucking Trent rolled a 95.
Oh, that was a
D20.
All right, with a 10, you are.
I already have a ruby, so I have Teth's ruby that he gave.
It's not a ruby. A ruby is a 1.
Okay.
The actual numbers don't, like 1s and 20s don't make any difference. This is just a rollable table for types of gems. 10, you are going to find a sapphire.
Ooh, sapphire.
Hey.
With a 95, that's going to be worth at least 400 gold pieces. A sapphire worth 400 gold pieces.
Nice.
You would estimate, Vern, that this sapphire is likely big enough, allowing for human error and cutting it into the correct shape. It could probably make at least 3 settings for your eye out of this sapphire if you wanted to.
What would I need 3? Because I don't burn through them when I use them, right?
No. It doesn't consume them. You just get that idea. Or another option would be to make 1, and then you'd have a sapphire worth 200 gold pieces left over.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down.
If the light conversation doesn't last the entire road trip, Eric would remind Brackle about. Didn't he have like a thing of like fortune telling, like a musical instrument of?
Yeah, Tome of Future Music, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
How long of a track does that play?
It plays for
Minutes, I think
10 minutes. Yeah. Yes, 10 minutes. It.
The road trip and playlist.
Function.
Yeah, it plays music that the tone of which anticipates your direct future, like the near future, which may or may not be good road trip music. You know, you never know.
Yeah. I've used 2 charges so far, so I mean I could use 1 here.
While you're deciding on that, let's hear from either Teth or Urzak. Assuming that the two of you are less interested in searching for treasure and telling jokes with Bill, what are the two of you up to right now?
So we're basically en route on Giant Tortoise to what what Bill has decided is, or said that, oh hey, this is where Cassis orb is. Correct.
Yep.
There's also a big purple light in the sky
Like, yeah.
that we're headed
Yeah.
towards, right?
And I think Vern had also showed him or the orb as well
Mhm.
to give him an idea.
And Teth or Vern, if you opened your orb map, it would
Yeah.
confirm that the orb is located right in front of you.
Yeah. Okay. I think actually for the first time in a long time, Teth knowing that having a hunch of some from the vision that he had from Laura. Is it Laura? I don't know. Yeah. Okay. I have a lot of gods reading around in my head. I was trying to remember if that was the correct one. I think for the first time in a while, he's actually going to kind of just find a nice comfy spot on top of this giant primordial Earth Titan turtle and actually kind of look inward and kind of commune with his orb son.
Okay.
And just more meditating, but kind of keeping an open mind than anything else and being receptive to anything. But not particularly asking any questions, but just being mindful of it and focusing.
Make a religion check, Teth.
Uh-oh. Why do I have so many religious characters and none of them, except for Selfina, has proficiency? Okay.
Never understood why religion is intelligence. Maybe it's the aspect of recalling religious information. Is intelligence based. Actually, for this, I would let you use either intelligence or wisdom, Teth, if that makes it any better for you.
Yeah, that would add 2. So it would be a 17. Respectable 17.
With a 17 religion, communing with the orb for the first time in a while. It's been a minute, so it has lost a little bit of its iridescence, but not all of it by any means. Are you looking into it for most of this trip?
Yeah, I kind of figured
from here on out.
Okay. Yeah, I figured if it like, hey, this is going to take an hour, sort of thing, he's just going to do that for an hour.
Sure. We'll say after prep and finding a good spot and on the back end, dismounting and everything like that, you have a solid 40 minutes where you're really focused on the orb. As you look into it, takes a moment, but you start to see a few swirls that you've never seen before. The iridescence favors the colors red and purple. It's something that you've not noticed, not for lack of trying. It's just you realize now that you've not really had this amount of focus on the orb for this long in one session, uninterrupted. You recognize that Vern's orb is red, and you recognize that you're heading towards a purple orb. And you, thinking about it, you realize the only thing that's different physically about the orb is that you have a piece of a minor deity's soul inside of it now. And it certainly feels more powerful. As you are gazing about 20 minutes in, you start to almost get lost in it. You forget that you're sitting on the top of a moving beast. You forget that you're in the wilds. You forget who you're with. And all you can think about is the moment when you are standing in that cathedral in the capital city, looking up at Talos, celestial being that you have looked to for guidance for centuries and never thought you would ever actually lay eyes on physically. You try and recall the feeling that you had in that moment. You realize more and more that's how you're feeling right now. With you're 17 and you're communing with the orb. For the next hour, once you are done communing, so the first hour of this dungeon, essentially, you will have your wisdom bonus doubled for all wisdom-based checks.
Nice.
Pretty solid.
Damn, I should do
So
that
your
more.
wisdom modifier. So that +3, +4.
Yes. So it's currently a +2. So basically everything would be
Okay.
double for wisdom.
+4. Yeah. Yep.
Nice. So it's kind of like proficient or expertise. Sorry, but for wisdom.
Yeah. Yeah. Expertise for specifically wisdom-based checks.
Nice.
Zach, what about you? Are you doing anything to prepare for what's ahead? Are you having conversations? Are you sitting off by yourself?
Rozak would just be keeping an eye out for any sudden threats. Perhaps asking some assistance from Coil, since he should have seen that last encounter beforehand.
Definitely should have. We'll say that you take Coil up to a higher piece of Bill's shell, close to the edge, where you have a good lay of the land. Make a either perception or survival, your choice. Perception or survival, please.
Dog shit. Also, a cool 8.
With a cool 8. I forgot that Coil was with you. Make it that at advantage, please. With Coil's help.
Did you mean to do with gun rolls?
But cool
Perception.
10. What?
Did you're using
Oh,
gun
yeah, that
rolls
roll.
perception?
That rolled as
Oh.
roll.
It's even worse with Urzak. It's a +0. So take one off those rolls.
Right.
Sorry, I tried to help.
The only
With
thing that can
a-
help me is the dice.
It's true. Not even Coil. Not even
Help
Coil
me.
can help.
Help me, please.
With the 9, it's not terrible. You're not missing much. It's broad daylight. The land here is pretty flat, especially since the stones came down. You'd notice that a lot of the things that were seemingly rock formations before you all were kind of encapsulated within the rocks are now not there, which leads you to believe that Bill has a lot of environmental pull here. He can kind of move the earth at its whim. As dangerous as a creature with a -4 intelligence that can do that may be. With a 9, you don't really notice anything. You know that the beings out on the horizon are still there. I would say above table confidently, you would notice that nothing on the surface is posing any threat to you at all.
Perfect.
Anybody, Bracklebaff, I know you're kind of playing off of the music box there. Is there anything else that you would want to be doing with your last half an hour or so before you get to this mountain?
I would like to. I'll do the music box in a second.
Okay.
But I would like to cast. This might break the game, so just don't do it if it does.
Pulling from the deck of many things.
Yes. Where is
Cast
it?
legend lore on those big giant creatures.
Oh, before you do that, I think he might have been gone when we learned that they were just like the timer of the end, right?
Oh,
Yeah, we did learn. I mean, I don't think it quite told us what they were, but they're meant to be a representation of like how much time is left until the end of the world or something.
The shadows get longer and longer.
Yeah. As veiled as that description was, that is the gist that the party would have gotten.
Okay.
You wouldn't have learned whether or not, like, what they actually are, though. I think the party just learned what they signify. So you could still cast legend lore if you'd like. Just know that would be part of what you would just be confirming that.
Barlos, do you want me to not cast it?
I want you to. I'm prepared either way, so I want you to cast or not cast based on what you want to do with your spell slots.
I'm casting it.
Okay. All right. Let me look up legend lore like I do every single time.
Should have cast it on the on Dogbone.
Hey, Dogbone.
What's his story? Yeah.
You know, what's the story?
What's this
giant
story?
Dogbone. Baby Sarask.
Yeah.
I guess. How are you casting this? Do you have an item that can cast it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Like, I don't remember ever asking you for 250 gold worth of incense and 4 strips of ivory.
No, I have a crown on.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I have the librarian's hat.
If you need 4 strips of ivory, just saying, a lot of elephants.
we have exactly 4 strips of ivory on this turtle right now.
Just take a knife and just go whoop, whoop, whoop.
Big old strips.
What is a strip of ivory? That's not how. It's not like. It's like a hard thing, right?
I don't know. I suppose it would depend on the quality of the ivory, because it says that they have to be at least 50 gold pieces each. So you could have just like a little bar of ivory, but if it's really well made or like inlaid with gold or something, you get up to 50 gold pieces.
They're like cutting it off.
I don't know.
Yeah. Hamon and Birico.
The last thing I ever want to do is categorize the gold piece worth of ivory for you to find.
I'm going to chop off all these tusks and sell them.
Yeah. Okay.
Except for bagels.
So, lore might consist of current tales, forgotten stories, or even secret lore that has never been widely known. Okay. So you would know that this... So the spell stipulates that if the thing you named isn't of legendary importance, you gain no information. The more information you already have about the thing, the more precise and detailed the information you receive is. So you already have some inclination to what these things represent, what these figures represent. Through your visions from Melora, you uncovered that in some capacity they represent how much time is left between some type of ending. With all of the visions put together from before, you may have surmised that this is some type of Armageddon, some type of end of the world situation. And upon casting Legend Lore, you learn that might not be the full story. That's not necessarily the case. It looked more bleak in snapshots through the visions that you had before, you now realize, upon investigating these figures, that a lot of that insight was due to the proximity to this temple that you are approaching. This is one of the spots in the continent that is the veil between the material plane and the ethereal plane is very thin here. So thin that within the temple sometimes you accidentally slip between planes without intending to do that. And these creatures are, they certainly are of legendary importance, but they're not deities, they're not celestials. These, the closest creature type that you would know them to be, they would be most closely related with undead. But only because they've never truly been alive. They exist in spots of the continent where the veil is incredibly thin. You know that these are you familiar with Marvel comics at all? Are any of you familiar with like Marvel narratives?
Depends what you say.
There are these creatures in Marvel comics called the Watchers.
Oh yeah.
They've been made more popular recently. The Disney Plus, they did the What If series where they changed up all the storylines. They have a significant part to play in that series. Essentially, these creatures are sort of like the Watchers. They are like bishops to Cassis. They're not necessarily celestials. They're not gods. They don't control any land. They don't garner any worship from mortals. They are not any more or less powerful based on how people perceive them to be. They are the most consistent and balanced beings within this universe. And the reason they are made that way is so they, regardless of power exchange among the Pantheon, can act as a check and balance for whoever has the most power. You would know Cassis to be his kind of idol underneath God of Death or Undeath or whatever is the Ethereal Guardian. He can see through all planes of existence, and he can see whenever any creature dies and is passing on to wherever they go. These creatures help facilitate those passings. So he essentially deputizes them to oversee the end of life for lots of mortals. But he also sends them out to just survey those that are within the grasp of possibly deadly situations. So seeing these, you would know, based on all of that, that not only has Cassis taken an interest in your party, he is ultimately throwing his weight behind you in whatever your efforts will entail. So you can surmise that these creatures watching you and kind of just tracking your movements is Cassis putting his money where his mouth is and saying that he will support your efforts.
So this should be an easy orb to get then, right?
Wow. Okay.
Maybe.
Hmm.
Are you going night?
Do these orbs want to be found You get one, you get a map.
Do you want to say goodnight to everybody?
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Billy's not there too.
You're right.
Wow,
Billy's
yeah,
not there.
You nailed that.
Yeah.
Where's Billy? Oh, there's Billy
I was
Yes.
summoned.
Billy's back.
by the porcelain god.
Yeah.
All right.
Much
You going
more
night-night?
pleasant.
Archer,
Say
what'd you
have a
do
good-
this weekend?
What did you do this weekend? What'd you do? What did you do with Papu today? Did you play outside?
Papusa.
Say night night, dudes.
Just no.
It's time for you. Time for you to go to sleep.
Perspective state.
Yeah.
Would you need me to carry you in?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll be right back.
Have any of you ever had pupusas?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
They're like I
get
think
your-
they're El Salvadorian. South America, but they're like they kind of are like a mix between like a quesadilla and something else, but they're basically like a corn tortilla that's stuffed with stuff, kind of like an empanada. Like it's like meat and cheese, but it's let me show you. They're fucking good.
Crazy how like every single country has their own version of stuffed meat
Stuffed meat and
pocket of
cheese.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or veggie. Yeah.
Yeah, I got them at like wasn't it? It was definitely not Mexican place in Texas. It was
I'd eat that.
dude, yeah, it was good. They were filling as hell because they made the they handmade the tortillas, the little pockets, and they were dense as hell. They were like a dense corn tortilla.
Mm.
But it was like half corn, half flour, so it was still kind of was a little bit pliable. Man, I like absolutely have no desire to eat, but I want to eat.
I was like, I don't know how you're talking about food right now.
Dude, I've had to make myself vomit so many times in my life. I'm not proud of it.
So I definitely get the I have to throw up and I'll feel better afterwards.
Mhm.
But I'm generally not like, oh man, I could go for some food right now afterwards.
Yeah. It took about 10 minutes, and then my stomach reset. So I'm like, okay,
Maybe some bread and some nice room temperature water.
And some more bread.
Get some-
Do you guys
get some
ever
food.
have like really weird like cravings when you're sick? Food cravings?
like specific or weird cravings?
Either or.
I always, God, what was the thing outside of like the like I want broth and
Mhm.
salt?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. There's something else. I used to do just like homemade chicken noodle soup, honestly, and that was always pretty fucking good. And it was just like you get to throw a chicken breast and make like not like a stock, not like a long stock, but you basically do a broth with chicken breast and onions and celery and shit like that.
Mhm.
And then just toss some noodles in there.
Dudes.
That was always good. Oh, I know what it was, dude. Grilled cheese. Grilled cheese.
Yeah.
When I'm sick, fucking slaps.
Mhm.
I don't know what it is. It's also
Well,
easy as fuck to make.
I know I never want soup outside of being sick. I mean, that's
Kind
kind of regular,
time.
normal to say, but you want soup when you're sick, right? But also,
Yeah.
when I'm not sick, I'd never want it.
I'd crush soup. I'd crush it every day.
I don't want it between the months of June and August.
Oh,
Keep the fucking soup away from me.
just
And I'll have soup the rest of the year.
between smash and pass, Andrew smashes soup.
Smash the soup. My weird thing that I always wanted a lot of times when I was sick was Rudy's hot dogs with liquid cheese on top. Yeah. I don't
That
know
sounds like just what the doctor ordered.
why. I don't know why.
I will say there is definitely different types of sick. Like where like there's some sick where I'm just like,
True.
no, I'm good. I don't want to
True.
really eat a lot. And there's some sick where I'm like, I need to feed this thing.
Mm, I feel like for
This
me,
this
like I just have to eat stuff when I have when I have a head cold and it's just like everything is here. I don't know if it actually makes it better, but I just feel like if I eat stuff, it will like clear me out.
Yeah,
I don't
force
know
it
if
out.
that's
Yeah.
I don't know
Like
if it's like
spicy stuff.
psychosomatic or what it is, but just like it's kind of like when you're sick and you're like, oh, I just want to take a hot shower all the time. So that's I'm just constantly being like I feel like when you're
Yeah.
eating and moving stuff here, it kind of opens up whatever temporarily. And so if I just perpetually eat, we're good.
That
Is it
being
like
said,
it's like anything or just spicy foods or something?
Yeah, it's anything. I mean, just like
Okay.
eating.
I mean,
stuff.
I would say like if I could have like a horseradish, that would like clear up my sinuses. So yeah, that makes sense to me.
Next time you're sick, I'll bring you over a horseradish root
if
for you to
So kind.
nod.
if
Not
it
what I was hoping for.
if it makes it to next time I go to Toledo, I'll bring down one of my pepper jellies I made. I made some with some Trinidad scorpion peppers that'll clear you up.
Oh hell yeah! That sounds so good.
Clear you up and clear
It's
you
it's,
out.
it's pretty good. Pretty good.
I
Yeah,
will take 1/8 of a teaspoon, please.
it's great. It's great on cream cheese and crackers. Very good.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm a big fan of spice. Rhiannon and I both like spicy stuff, like flavorful spicy stuff.
Mm.
You do Thai food?
Spicy.
You ever do
What?
Thai barless? Thai
Oh
food?
hell yeah!
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thai food's pretty good for that.
I gotta go like mild or medium on Thai food because their spice
Yeah,
scale is
they
not
don't
like
fuck
crazy.
around.
No, not at
Yeah.
all. Not at all.
That's
But I love
they're the
it.
real people who do like the no, you're white, you can't handle this, and you're like,
yeah, yeah.
listen to them, please.
Mm. All right. How? What? Assuming you relay that to the group.
I don't think I will.
Oh, okay.
Not for any nefarious reason or anything, but I don't
Fair.
think I don't think I would.
What is your reaction then to learning that?
Kind of blown away, I guess. I know we're dealing with deities and, obviously part of their powers, and we've killed one already. I don't know. That it just seems like they're, or at least Cassis is super interested in the party now. It's not like we're just vaguely dabbling in stuff. Like maybe Corellin or Corellon. It is Corellin.
Corellin.
He had a hard on for Trent or Vern,
Right.
but outside of that, I didn't feel like we had a super hard connection to the deities, I guess.
Yeah, I mean he is into it now, man. He is. What am I trying to say? You would know. I think all of you would know, just as citizens of Azura. Cassis is about as neutral as it can get. He tries to stay as neutral as possible because he tries to service anyone who dies, regardless of their affiliation. So to throw his support behind someone, albeit inadvertently, it's not something that the standard passerby would be like, oh, those things out on the horizon, that means that a god is in our corner. Very few people would know that information offhand. But the fact that he is doing it at all is surprising.
Breckle,
Yes.
What did you learn from your legend lore? All
What
this
legend?
all this incense and ivory.
He's
I've seen you
he
do this
casts it from an
before.
item, so he doesn't have the material components.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Damn.
I
It
saw
is
you.
still verbal, or I don't know. Like,
Let me see. What
Verbal and somatic.
so would it be, hand gestures and words that I've heard Brackle do? And
I don't know. Brackle, you could roll sleight of hand versus Eric's perception if you wanted to try and.
I don't think I was trying to.
Eric's too busy
Hide
telling
it.
turtle jokes. What are you talking about?
I don't think I was trying to hide it.
Okay.
I did like snapping turtles.
What's your spell save DC, Brackle?
It is. I'll say DC 18.
You will notice Brackle casting a spell and not telling anybody about it if you can make a DC 18 perception check, Eric.
Okay. I do it. Brackle.
Yeah, you see him moving his hands and reciting a few things under his breath.
What?
You have great stories to tell. You
Oh,
already
sure.
got a new one.
Nice.
Shut up! I'm casting a spell.
I'm trying to concentrate.
Shut up!
Get
I
off
don't
my
want you to
hands.
know.
Yeah, I mean, you can certainly straight up ask him if you want. Brackle, you can roll deception if you want to tell him a lie, or try and persuade him to change the subject, maybe, or just tell him the truth.
I was just casting legend lore out on our giant friends out there. See if I could get any other info. Melora seemed to be partially right, but not fully correct. I don't know if that was her intent to be deceitful or if she honestly doesn't know. Or my spell was corrupted. I don't know.
We did speak to just an aspect. If really you consider it a conversation at all. Her silhouette projection certainly showed some powerful beings, if not powerful, some, omniscient or something beings.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I assume she would send her aspect would not be dumber than she is. I assume she would send up somebody who represents her.
Above table, I think all of you would know that the aspect that appeared to you would be reputable. I think one thing to consider, also just as a note as a game master to the players, that the visions that you saw may have been conjured by Melora, but they can certainly be influenced by your own psyche because you are all mortals still. So there is a liminal amount of sway that your own mental well-being would have on those. Your perception of the world can skew what you see in visions like that. So if you assume the worst and you figure that eventually this will end in failure, that might change your vision to be a little bit more bleak than it actually is. The more balanced you are, the more neutral the vision, and so on.
Hmm.
I don't think they're necessarily a bad thing.
Right. Right.
So we'll see what happens.
Are you planning to lead the party into the mountains, being a mountain man?
Oh, I'm not a mountain man. I think that's much more of a. Well, I guess, or wait, was that Crowbar was from the mountains?
There was.
Oh, well, it would be good if Crowbar was here, but let's see.
Everyone has a little crowbar in their hearts.
I mean, the turtle's pretty much taking us where we need to go, but yeah, I'll help any way I can.
Does the Pangor Range, you call that home? Is that not true?
No, isn't Ismail not in the Pangor range? Isn't it on the flats?
On the flats, yeah. It's definitely near there.
Yeah.
Let's check it out together.
Check it
Bang.
out.
Yeah, it's pretty well northwest
why did I
or
think? Oh,
northeast. You, Eric, who are from New Ponteg, live closer to the Bangor Range than Brackle.
Why am I acting like I just don't know where Ismail is? Okay, my bad.
Hey, mountain boy.
No, that's all right.
Yeah.
You mean you didn't memorize where every city on my map that you haven't seen for weeks was?
No, I'm from East Samel, so we're up in the flat. I think you're thinking of Crowbar. He was a mountain boy.
Mm.
No, I'm not ultra familiar with the mountains. Honestly, I haven't spent much time in the mountains at all. Frankly.
That's my bad. I had heard of your previous work in mines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. That'd be in mountain stuff. No, I'm much more familiar with forests and desert lands. How about you? Did you ever make your way up into the Pangor Range?
It was a very formidable, land obstacle. So we Pontegians went our easier route and traversed around the Azurian Ocean
Oh,
along the coast. Yeah.
did you ever?
Despite all the terrible monsters that you know, see fit to cause havoc on our ships.
Oh, do tell. What monsters are out there?
Krakens.
Are there? Is it just the Krakens?
Just krakens. Krakens of every shape and size. Only krakens, exclusively, really.
Um,
Killer dolphins.
Krakens and their cousins.
Kraken cousins.
Certainly,
Only.
certainly elemental, right? Can I say that, DM?
Water elementals.
I mean, you are steering this ship now. You're in
Yeah,
control.
you're building worlds too.
Hmm.
What about? I heard there's giant squids out there. Is that true?
Awful uh, pirate ships of undead, sometimes fiendish undead
The ghost ships.
manning vessels. Yeah.
Hmm.
And not to mention, the high stakes armor and weaponry trade merchants and hagglers. Oh my gosh. The
Susan
guild
looks-
protects the routes.
Mm,
Armor
gotcha.
Guild. We would always be run up by highwaymen and yeah.
Highwaymen on the ocean.
Nothing
High
gets past
seasmen.
Brackle.
High seasmans. What's that?
Nothing gets past you, Brackle.
Now I want to do a one shot with all of you where you just play high seasman. Everybody's a swashbuckler bard
Yeah, pirates.
or an oath of the open sea paladin. High seasman.
I am pirate.
Well, anyway, here you are.
You'll have to take us on the ocean sometime. We'll have to have another adventure out there.
There you go. Any last actions anyone wants to take before we get to the rock face? Also,
I
thank
would like
you.
to boot Molly.
Go ahead.
Oh, Ollie.
Would like you to wear him as a scarf.
What was that?
I would like you to wear him as a scarf.
Handling check.
They're just so good at stepping on cord.
Oh, nice. Cats everywhere.
I don't think he'll do a scarf.
I want to say he. Yeah. I used to put him on my back, and he would just chill. And then he would get a little too close to the ceiling fan in the kitchen, and I would say, "No, no, no."
Let's not touch that. Charles started laying on top of the fridge.
Well, good thing you don't have the booze up there anymore.
There's bottles up there, so we're about to take them down.
Yeah, I would do that.
Imagine waking up in the middle of the night and he knocked off a bottle of vodka or bourbon on the ground.
Fucking getting hammered in your kitchen.
Yeah.
You're too
Lapping
young.
it up.
You can't drink.
All right. If no one has anything else that they are looking to do before we get to the rock formation, we will skip ahead to that. You are coming up on it. You're maybe less than 100 feet away, and you feel Bill start to slow. And he stops maybe 60 feet away. He'll say, "Time has come. You can go on ahead safely from here."
Thank you, Bill. It's been a pleasure, except for that time when you tried to murder us, but good day.
Yeah, that wasn't my
Sorry
favorite
again
part.
about that.
Bill, if we need your help again,
Sometimes.
is there a way to contact you? Oh, sorry, Bill, you're still talking, but you speak so slowly that I.
We keep interrupting.
Just start singing the beginning of the Bill Nye theme song. Just Bill, 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 and he'll just pop right out of the ground. It'll be all good. I'm here now.
Sorry.
He'll you'll feel him kind of like Well, for you, it'll feel like the entire ground is shaking, but he'll kind of just like shake his back a little bit, and a few pieces of very smooth, polished stone will kind of dislodge at your feet, Vern. And we'll say this is what we'll say. We'll roll the dice to see how many it is. Three polished stones make their way onto the ground at your feet. And he will go on to explain that if you bury one of these stones in the ground while you're in the wilds, he will either show up himself or communicate to one of his elemental friends to come and assist you.
Nice. Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome.
What a guy.
Good thinking, Vern.
Yeah. Took us a long time to get here, so it'd be nice to have a safe passage out again.
And all we have
Sure.
to tell people is that it's safe from here. So nobody's allowed to hurt us.
Bill said so. Back there,
Yeah. Go talk to Bill.
Bill said we were good. So you can just go back underground.
You can just
We're all set. We're all set.
All right.
go for
to
it.
the
yeah.
plateau. Is there a big door?
Yeah, big welcoming door with a neon sign that says Cass is here.
Come get my ball.
Free orb.
Just free
Yeah,
balls.
you're about 60 feet out. You could, I guess based on the check, but you could attempt to estimate the actual size of the mountain with a nature check if you wanted. If not, you can just continue to move on towards the face of the rock.
Advance.
I'll
Eric
do it.
Eric
Oh.
casts guidance on Brackle.
Okay. I'll do a check.
Roll nature with guidance.
Is it bigger or smaller than Bill?
Bigger than Bill. Bigger than
Is
Bill.
it bigger than a bread box?
But slower than
Uh,
Bill, too.
Smaller than a bread box, but slower than Bill. Yeah.
14.
14 with a d4 for guidance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 14. Brackle, you assume it's not high enough to pinpoint exactly. You're kind of doing the math on the fly, but it's incredibly wide. It's not like a full rock range. It seems to be a standalone formation. With a 14, you can definitely tell that it is a natural rock formation. It is not going to transform into a giant ooze or anything. It feels like it is firmly sitting in or on the ground as a natural structure. You would assume somewhere between 350 and 400 feet high, now that you're right up next to it. And you would assume it's about twice as wide. You don't know the exact shape because it's so big, but it's a very large rock formation.
Good news. I don't think this will stand up.
No extra large turtles.
All right.
It's like a good old rocky place.
Let's go.
Great. Approaching the actual formation, the rock face. It is incredibly smooth, as if it had just been polished before you got here. There is no sign of an entrance. There's no sign of really any creature doing anything here. It feels very clean and undisturbed.
Is there a way we can try and like tuning for water fork this or wishbone? Kind of point ourselves in the right direction. Do you guys' Vern and Teth, do your guys' orbs kind of have a pull in a certain direction?
Maybe the two of you could work together somehow if you tell me what you would want to do.
We do have maps, or at least I have a map. But you mean a more instinctual direction?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if the maps work, maps work. I didn't know if you guys were feeling anything.
Do we feel anything?
Oh, I hope not.
Yeah.
You remember?
You can each make a perception check. You can choose wisdom or charisma for your casting ability, or one of you could make that check with advantage.
I have a
Well, you used
great
your wisdom.
perception. Yeah,
Yeah, you have your wisdom
I
buff.
have
So yeah, do that.
boosted perception right now.
Boosted, baby.
All right, yeah. With Vern's help, Teth, you can make a perception check with advantage.
Yeah,
With you.
baby.
Oh, good thing I have advantage.
Yeah, do the first one.
No, I want the one. 22.
And 9 is with the boost. Or do you have it under your?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, with a 22, you break out your orb, and well, it's in your chest, so you can't do that. You you open the hatch and kind of expose the orb in your chest, and you just put a hand on it and try and feel its kind of attune with its sentience. You're already kind of in that mindset after communing with it for so long on the journey over here. You almost start to feel a pulse, almost like a heartbeat, something that you have noticed very slightly in the past, most notably when you first uncovered the orb that eventually would go to Vern. It is leading you, well, I guess from where you are now, it would be leading you around to the north side of the mountain, but in direct navigation to your right along the rock face. Following that along with a 22, you eventually come upon, after walking maybe 10 minutes or so, there is a small slot about a foot wide and an inch tall in the side of the mountain. And above that slot, you see etched in the smooth surface of the mountain the initials NRMN, or Norman.
Nope. Let's turn back, guys.
Nerman.
I choose seppuku.
He was the librarian with the sphinxes, right?
Yep.
Yes.
He's
Wow.
claptrap.
Well, that was the one. One was the aspect of Norman. One was Norman, right?
Yeah.
The actual Norman you encountered was that the one
One shot.
the one shot that we did when Annie and Zach played with us. That was in that temple in the other side of the wilds.
I
But in the
cast
temple of Coralon, you encountered the aspect of Norman.
poison spray in the slot.
It yeah, it shoots in. You know what? Just to see, just on the off chance, roll a d100.
Okay.
If you get 75 or above, something's gonna happen with poison spray.
Right. Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shoot your poison into the slot, and you kind of hear it hit a floor. It hits a hard floor. But it does not hit any creatures. At least no creatures that would react to poison. You don't hear anything inside react to that.
Can I just look inside the slot?
Do you have dark vision?
Yes. Oh. Yes, 60 feet.
You can look into the hole in the wall. You see it is very dark. Most of what you see through your dark vision is in kind of grayscale. It's pretty dark in like just within this area, but it looks almost like it's an antechamber of sorts. It doesn't look very grand. Not necessarily furnished with anything. It's not like the Temple of Coralon that was like built out with statues of him or anything like that. It looks just like a naturally occurring cave. There's nothing aggrandizing about it in any way. But further in, you can see there is a lit area, maybe 50, 60 feet inside of it. And that is where your vision drops off. But you do see a bit of movement at the very edge of your vision. You can't make out what it is because it's just outside of your seeable view. But you can tell that something in there is moving.
I think Urzak, he seemed to be your best friend, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you want to call out for him, or I think it was you or Eric was his best friend.
I remember. It was definitely one of them, though. Certainly not Tether Brackle.
No.
I'm unfamiliar with this phrase, best friend.
Yeah, sarcasm.
Well, I'm your best friend as well.
Well, see, the word best implies a singular pinnacle.
Yeah.
So,
no, I get that.
If you were my best friend,
Mhm.
then it would be impossible that Norman was also my best friend.
He's also best friend.
But that's not how the word best works.
I'm just more best friend.
That's
While that's happening, Vern will go over and yell into the thing, Norman, it's us, let us in.
Make a
Constitution saving throw.
As the poison spray touches your lips.
Oh yeah, it didn't fan out. It's still lingering there, Vern.
It's just sitting in the slot. Make a performance check, Vern.
Performance.
How loud are you actually making your voice? How well does it carry through these corridors?
Ooh, I'm gonna finally use my cantrip that I added. The thing that makes my voice
Thaumaturgy?
louder. Yeah.
Ooh, 3 times the voice.
There you go.
Times the voice.
I'll give you the option. You can automatically succeed on this check by meeting the DC, which is it's a DC 14. So you can automatically just take a 14, or you can roll the performance check in case you want to try for higher.
Okay, so wait, so I can roll the
So you can
performance.
choose to succeed with a 14, or you can decide to not
greedy
take the.
and-
Far.
Yeah.
I feel like I should just take the automatic victory. There's no way
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
trust
real
my
tempting.
odds with rolling
Yeah,
a
that's
dice.
real enticing.
Norman is going to roll a history check. See if he recognizes your voice. Not bad. Not bad. He recognizes you.
Good.
You also have 60 feet of dark vision, correct?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, you see the same thing that Brackle saw. It's very dark right up by the slot where you are. And about 55, 60 feet in, you can see just the beginnings of a lit area and some movement. And as you call out, what do you say, by the way? Or you already said that, right? Norman, it's us?
Yeah, Norman, it's us. Let us in, buddy.
As you call that out, you will see the motion at the very edge of your vision stop. And a creature will turn your direction and start slowly moving towards the slot. Vern, why don't you roll a D100 for me, please?
It's my favorite.
I imagine
bad.
like a hyperactive Vern and his parents saying inside voices. He's too good at.
Actually, it's very echoey in mansions. You know, all that sound just
Yeah.
reverberates those high ceilings.
As the creature gets closer to you, there are pieces of it that are familiar to you, Vern, and there are pieces that are not. It seems to be some sort of four-legged creature, maybe made of stones or pieces of wood. It seems to be cobbled together with different debris, and it's somehow moving as a single entity. But where the head should be is the recognizable part. Something that both alarms you and maybe puts you at ease a little bit. This is the face that you see. Good old aspect of Norman.
Mhm.
Aspect of Norman.
Norman's ass.
Yeah. He will walk quite slowly, actually. He makes you wait several minutes because he's not a very fast mover. At least this version of Norman is not.
I'll comment that I
And
love the new look.
Once he gets up to the slot, he will say, "Oh, thanks. Make a actually anybody that would like can make an insight check. Anybody
I'll
that
leave
would
it to one of them.
volunteer to do that.
Is Insight Wisdom? Would that be another good Teth one?
I'll help somebody do insight.
Only got a +4.
I got a
Oh,
plus
right.
12.
Oh,
Somebody
yeah, plus
wants
12? Jeez, yeah. Do that.
Somebody wants to do advantage, yeah.
Yeah, Eric, you can roll too. That's fine.
All right, rolling. Yeah.
Damn.
Okay. With a 31, this is definitely not the same Norman that you encountered in the Temple of Coralon. He doesn't seem to be malicious toward you. It doesn't seem like he's angry. It doesn't seem like he is particularly interested in helping you either. He's more curious as to who you are and why you're here. So you are familiar with him, but he's going to need to be persuaded more before he lets you go anywhere inside of this temple, because he does not recognize you.
Norman,
Yes?
pleasure seeing you again.
I don't know who you are.
Oh, you don't? You look so similar to the other Norman down in the towards
Mir.
Mir.
Hmm. Yes.
Brother, perhaps.
Down in Mir.
Yes, the
Uh,
Coralon.
Temple of Coralon. Yes. Yes, that Norman. Norman number 675. Hate that guy.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Everybody down there was a real prick.
You're telling me. Last time I was down there with 675, he kept trying to he kept trying to tell me turtle jokes, and I just kept saying I'm not having any of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that Coralon guy too, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, he wasn't very good either. But
So
We were told,
675.
we were told the most hospitable Normans are up here, farther north.
Right, but not too far north, right?
No, it's more of like a centrist thing. So yeah, in the middle of Azura, it's like the best.
I always say that I'm the best one.
Indeed, you are.
You're number one.
Sadly, no.
Hmm.
There are hundreds of us.
Oh,
Where-
I
where
thought
is
you
one?
said best one. I thought you were one. I'm sorry. Okay.
No, I am closer than 675. 332 is my service number.
What
Gotta write this
exactly?
down.
What exactly
What am I
is?
doing?
That's what I'm doing. 675 and 332.
What a stupid idea that just was.
Hey, but there's 100 of them. That's why I'm laughing.
No, I said hundreds.
Oh,
Who knows
100.
how many?
It's a
At least 665 of them.
It's a double-ended stud.
So what kind of
10,
jokes does
1.25.
332 tell?
I don't want to talk about jokes anymore.
Not even knock jokes, since we're here at this door.
I abhor jokes.
Us too. We're down to business, right, guys? And we're ready to come in there and help save the world. Are you in, Norman?
Oh, sure. What's the first order of business?
Eric looks at Urzak. It kind of reminds me of you when he says abhors jokes.
It does kind of sound.
When have I ever said that?
I don't know. You just seem
I'm sorry that you don't have a good sense of humor.
I got other jokes we can try.
You say we, as in like, I need to try. You're the one who needs to work.
Norman will look out to Urzak and he'll say, "You look like somebody who abhors jokes."
Was that a joke?
Ouch.
That's correct, Norman.
No, that was a compliment. I also abhor jokes.
Turtle jokes are the worst, right?
Okay.
Have we seen Urzak like have like a laugh or chuckle, belly laugh?
I feel like a
think so.
chuckle here or there.
Yeah, he's teased people now and then.
Yeah.
He's harassed Brackle, I believe, before.
Oh, he's
I think, yeah.
Definitely done
But he
that.
harassed
the-
Eric. Yeah.
He's the funniest thing he thinks he's ever done is probably hit Coil with the book. That's probably his idea of a joke.
That was pretty funny.
That's true.
Peak comedy.
Now that's comedy.
Um,
Physical abuse.
this little, so he's like, we're like peeking through this little slit in the mountainside.
Yep. Right now, I
can I,
think
like-
last we left it, Vern was looking in at it, but you can configure yourselves however you want.
We're all like, there's like 4 or 5 of us just like on the ground, like trying
Huddled,
to look
yeah. This slot is like we'll say it's like 5 feet off the ground, so you don't have to like get down and crouch around
Yeah,
it.
it's 1
Some
inch
of
tall,
us.
right? It's not 1 inch off the ground.
Correct. Yeah, 1 inch tall, of
It's-
about a foot wide. So there's
It's actually
plenty
like looking
for you
under a
all to look.
door.
Yeah.
That's what
Not
I thought
like
it
that.
was.
All right.
Oh my
Hey, thank you for the compliments.
Yes.
Are you planning on letting us in?
I don't know who you are. Why would
That-
I let you
that-
in?
Are you required to know everyone you let in?
This is a temple of a prime deity. I can't just let anyone that looks through my slot in here.
I'll show
It's a-
him Coralon's
If it's if it's a temple of a,
We're gonna
if it's
It's
a temple
common
of a deity,
It's
I-
common
do you not-
hospitality to say who you are.
do you not seek to expand your followership?
I'm not a god. I don't need to expand my followership.
You not? Do you think the god of this temple wants to shun people willing to visit it?
Norman will stop at that point. And he doesn't have a face, but you can see kind of like the gears turning. He seems like he's never thought about it that way before. Make a persuasion check, Urzak.
So good at that.
Break the computer. Break the computer.
It's another cool 9.
He middle of the road check. He takes a few moments to process what you said. He'll say, "Suppose that kind of makes sense. But I have been hired here as a liaison for Cassis. I think part of my job duties is editing who is entered or who is allowed to enter into these hallowed halls.
You
I can't just let anyone in."
you gave yourself this duty?
I don't know who gave it to me.
All right. Norman, I'm going to ask you this very, very, very bluntly.
Yes, of course.
Are you going to let us in? If we perhaps tell you who we are?
Well, who are you?
I'm Urzak, the Eternal Blade.
Hi, Urzak the Eternal Blade.
These are my companions.
Hi,
This is-
companions.
This is Bracklebaff. This is
Best-
Vern Wellaby.
Hi,
Best
Bracklebath.
friend.
This is
Best friend,
Tad.
actually.
This is
I'm Eric.
Alric.
Edric.
Yep. There's some side characters back there. You don't have to worry about them. They're gonna stay and watch the elephants.
This is Bagels.
Call them.
And this is
See.
Bill.
Leader.
Bill.
As he launches up from underground. You rang?
Yeah, meet Norman.
We are on a quest to
would
find
get
the
along.
Holy Grail.
Norman's being
He
kind of a
will
dick, by the way. I don't like this Norman.
certainly not the best objectively not the best Norman. Not even in the top half of Normans. He will say once you start listing off your names, he'll say, "I'm certain I've heard some of your names before," which is odd. I don't hear a lot of names around here. Not many people ever even come by.
Do you
Uh,
do you have a sign-in sheet? Do you
Yeah,
know how many people come by?
who would you have heard names from?
well, there were a few adventurers a long time ago that came by, and can't really remember their names. I'm sure I have it written down somewhere, but I let them in, and a few of them were not very kind.
You remember what they look like?
There was a bird person and an elf, I think. Let me go check real quick, and Norman will start to turn around and walk away.
I will turn to Eric. Say, you can dissipate this earth, right?
Hmm. Can
Yeah,
I?
I've been waiting for some type of pass wall or fabricate or like wild
Carlos.
shape.
We wanted to play nice with him, but he's
Hey, fuck just introducing ourselves and saying what we're doing. We're just gonna just evaporate the door.
Hey, Norman.
Yes, he'll call
Uh,
back from his position.
Hey, why don't you just let us in, and then we can talk about it. Come on,
Uh,
come on.
Wait, so he goes to
It's
walk
like, it's
away.
like the two persuasion checks. It's like Urzok like using logical thinking and reasoning, and then there's Brackle.
Come on.
Well,
Come
first of all,
on.
the first one's a +1. The second one's like a +22. Just like, come on.
Everybody loves me.
You know what?
No.
Come on.
No,
This guy's right.
I want to stay with the stone. It's not fair.
Andrew, what the hell is this thing you sent on from Amazon?
What? It's 675 and
It's a
332.
Norman. It's a
Okay.
Norman 675.
Yeah, it's a double-ended Norman.
It looks like a fucking pistol silencer. Is what it looks like.
Yeah.
I think I'm looking in the wrong book. Looking for notes. I gotta stop writing stuff down in
I-
different books. That's what I
I
need
can't
to do.
look at this loading wheel. That hurts. Never gonna load.
Just in case we need to put Brad into his own hell, just everybody send them loading
God.
wheels.
Yeah.
I could easily get on the inside without casting a spell, but then I'd be by myself, and I don't feel like that's good.
Did you? I thought you had
he
like
will.
mold earth spell, Brad.
Stone shape.
Do you have it
Just
prepared?
stone object.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
we had-
you're welcome to cast it if you want.
Okay, I'm gonna make a door. Hopefully, my magic is strong enough to make it tall enough for Teth not to have to, and Urzok to have to,
what, crouch a little bit? I don't
crouch
think
a
it-
little bit, but get them through. They're medium sized still, so I guess okay.
Yeah,
But,
that's fine. Well, I mean, we'll explain it away mechanically.
Stone door with 2 hinges and a latch,
Perfect.
like a little gate latch.
As you cast it, you'll see the slot shift upwards. It'll kind of just move up in the stone wall and turn into a perfectly square window with kind of like a cross section, and that'll become the center of the door, the window in the center of the door.
The initials.
And the initials will move up with it as well. They'll be up above the door, just kind of like in the same pattern as the arch of the door.
Mm.
It'll still say Norman perfectly above where you would expect it.
I'm imagining Lord of the Rings. It's like Melon, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Elvish.
Norman's gonna freak out. Norman will not know how to comprehend what's happening here.
No.
No, Norman's kind of neurotic at a base level. He
Fire.
He's gonna make a sanity check.
Oh, great.
Good.
Oh,
He has like too
Yeah,
much.
Not
Yes.
bad. Okay.
A guy who
He's
spends
all
hundreds
good.
of years alone at a time making a sanity check.
Right.
This is what sets him off.
With with a negative one, I would imagine most of his sanity checks are worse than they are good. Okay, so he doesn't really freak out that badly with a 16. He will turn right around, and as you're about to cast this, Eric, he'll turn around and he'll say, "Oh, I do remember one of their names. It was," and then the spell takes effect, and he sees the wall of his home warping in front of his eyes, and he'll say, and it was, whoa, wait. And as you go to open the door, Norman is just standing there. He's much smaller than the other aspect of Norman. That was kind of just like a floating orb, and that was his whole body. This this aspect of Norman, this purple energy sphere, is very small. It's like maybe it's got a circumference of like 3 inches, right? It's really tiny, and the actual size of his body, he would qualify as a small creature. So he is actually a little bit scared that all of you giant creatures are walking into his home, and he was not the one that made that call. But this is where we are now, and he'll say, "Okay, well, what can I do for you now that you're in here?"
We seek the orb of Cassis.
The orb of Cassis. Oh, god damn it!
I was like, I know he's tiny, but like you're like within an inch of describing the same size of him.
4 inches.
I think maybe just like subconsciously, I have too much Pokemon knowledge in the back of my head. It just seeps into the things that I make.
if it makes you feel any better,
Not
there's
too
so
much.
many Pokemon that
Yeah.
like just creating
know.
something on a whim.
No.
There's going to be something that's similar to it.
Out of 1,000 creatures, it's got to be close to something. It's the fact that you are all so fast to make the connection and then show it to me immediately. Credit where credit is due, for sure. But yeah, Norman is very small, quadrupedal. It doesn't seem like his elemental body, or however he's being held together, can walk on 2 of its legs. It is securely walking on 4 makeshift limbs. But his speech is very coherent. He speaks perfect common, so he can clearly communicate with you. And he'll say, "The orb of Cassis. On what grounds are you sent here to look for such an artifact that may or may not exist?"
Insight.
I mean, you have
Okay.
2 orbs, so you know that he's lying. You know that they exist. I suppose on an insight check, I won't even. I mean, the DC would be so low. You obviously know that he's lying. But he's not very good at concealing his hand. He is nervous, and he is trying to get in as many questions as he can before you ultimately overpower him, which he assumes is something that is certain to happen eventually.
Is there like a hallway, like a path we can go down?
Yep, there's a straight corridor right down the.
Great.
It is a cave.
Urzok's gonna pick him up
Don't pick him up.
Okay.
and begin walking down the hallway.
No. I resist. I do not consent to you moving my body like this.
I'm gonna take him out of Urzok's hand. Give me them.
I'm gonna
No,
not
No,
let you
stop.
take him out of my hands.
Give me
please
him.
do not. Yeah, make athletics checks. Both.
I want the baby. Give me the baby.
That's so disappointed.
I feel like the wilds has really warped our
Oh.
brains.
I
These
want,
Yeah,
oh, shit. That's
They
you're right.
scrambled everything.
Yeah.
Let it. Plus 6.
Do it.
D10 or D20. Not 6 times, just once. Ah, that was a good roll for me.
Ooh,
Close.
close. Yeah, you attempt to take Norman out of Urzok's grasp, and maybe you come away with a couple pebbles. You get little pieces of his body, but the full shape remains firmly within Urzok's grasp.
Come on, Urzok, give me him.
Stop it. Come on, we can walk and talk.
I want him. He's cute.
You
I
can
really insist that you put me down.
have him next.
Nope, nobody will have me next. This is awful.
What? Why do you think you're down here, Norman?
As a guardian of the
Hmm?
of the things that we use to worship Cassis, in whatever shape they may take.
Why do you think you're guarding things that take shape or not into the things that you use to worship Cassis?
I don't understand the question.
Why do you think you're guarding something that's not an orb down here?
I never said anything about an orb.
I know
I'll
we
be like-
did.
I don't know.
I'll say, Norman, take us to this but
Best.
purple, and I'll pull out the red orb. And show
He
it to
will.
him.
He'll immediately gasp, and his whole body will. He's gonna make a con save.
He just sucks into your orb.
Sanity save again. Oh, wow.
Okay. You
Does
got a
not
natural
faze him.
20. Yeah, with a natural 20 for a 22, he gasps. It's a huge gasp. He is shocked, but no, no physical change in his body. Maybe a few of the pebbles that make up his body rearrange a little bit, but nothing crazy. He'll say, "You have an orb of the Presidium."
We do. We're the chosen.
Chosen. I too can play this game. You're chosen by who?
By Talos.
Uh,
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, that's a good answer.
Yeah, who
Well,
were we
yeah,
chosen
and,
by?
And
Melora.
Melora. I was thinking malaria, but I know that's not it.
No, that's
Melora.
not malaria.
Melora
And if the-
came and spoke
The
to
original
us.
deity.
And we made Coraline pick us too.
Imagine worshiping malaria.
And I mean, I can't say for certain if Cassis is really rooting for us or has our back, because no one's told us otherwise. But
He's
in my gut,
yeah.
I feel like he could probably get behind what we're getting behind.
Yeah.
Norman, I think you know that Cassis is behind. Or at least indifferent.
Okay, well, suppose it's unavoidable at this point. Yes, just follow this way up here. I can show you the rest of the way. Just know that it likely will not be an easy journey. This looks like a big mountain, but really there are only a few places to go, and none of them are good.
that's okay. We trust you'll take us down the path of least resistance, Norman.
Yeah, I hope it's not as hard as getting into this place. Because boy howdy, that'd be tough.
Did we?
I'm a very efficient guardian, of course.
That you are.
Did we?
You-
have
you-
enough
that-
for, Do we have enough time for a short rest on the way here on the turtle, or is it too short?
Yeah, you can take a short rest.
Hmm.
Oh, good call. Yeah, you can all take a short rest.
Hey.
Is Norman's form? He mentioned maybe I wrote down the names before. Does he have a form to where he has something like dexterous, or he could use writing utensils, or is he just, I don't know.
He doesn't. No, he doesn't have any digits, so he probably couldn't hold a pen or anything like that.
Okay, just sort of inspection on his form.
Yeah, I mean he's made of rocks and wood and sand, so he's just kind of. You can see it all kind of like move around too in his body. It doesn't stay stagnant. It's not like, it's not. I hate that I'm using a Pokemon to describe this, but it's
Yeah.
it's not like
Trust your instincts.
it's not it's not like a Graveler, right? Where it's like a solid rock form and he just kind of moves with his rock arms. It's all kind of fluid. It flows in and out of itself. More like a ghastly.
Like a nice spirit bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will direct you really in the only way that you can go, the only way that you can see. The further you go, the brighter things get, and the more you can see kind of these like purple streaks through the floor. It's kind of almost like this place has so much energy inside of it. It burst up through the floor in some places, and there are little streaks throughout the rock of a bright, vibrant purple. Not necessarily a lavender like you saw on the outside. It is very prominent and vibrant until he leads you into a much larger cavern, and you get to a bridge, which you can see here.
I like. All right, guys. I think we just need to walk across it.
Yeah, Norman, is this safe?
I've done it before.
All right, show us the best way to do it.
That would mean you'd have to let me go.
Oh, are you still cradling her like a baby, or is that?
I can't even cradle like a baby. It fits in the palm of my hand.
He's small, yeah.
Oh, it's
Small.
a small boy.
Alright. So, well, here you go, Brackle. I'll hand him to Brackle, as promised.
Come on.
Said you it next.
All right. I'll just put him down on the little bridge. All right, little buddy.
He will get down out of your arms, and he will start going across the bridge.
He also weighs
will
like 2 ounces.
Yeah.
Right, this isn't now that he's small. I forgot he was
Yeah.
that small. Like this doesn't help us at all. Vern will
Yeah.
start crossing
He's
the
like,
bridge
yeah, he's a couple
first,
pounds.
but I will have at the ready my dragon wings in case this thing breaks under me. And so I will walk across and kind of determine if I feel like it's safe enough for my heavier compatriots.
Once you get to this first break in the paneling, Vern, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
That
Also,
how wide is that? Okay.
you'll see. Brackle,
Alright.
do you still have the thing on that can detect
Yeah. Let me
apparitions.
let me read what it says.
Does it take an action, or is it just a passive thing that you know?
I think it's just passive.
Okay.
While holding this crystal, you're aware of the presence of any incorporeal creatures within 30 feet of it. You can't see them, and you don't know their exact location. You just know they're there.
You moving into this cavern, you are inundated
Oh god.
with awareness of spirits.
It might be more terrifying knowing that than not knowing it. So there's ghosts everywhere. I don't know where they are, but they're everywhere.
You can peg at least 10 that you can feel within that radius, within 30 feet of your location. You can't see them and you don't know where they are, but they are close.
Guys, we are not
Yeah.
alone.
I'm going to give you an aura just to
For your
keep track of that.
How so, Brackle?
Well, I can't see them. But I know that something is there, and there's a lot of them. I don't know if they're hostile towards us, but
Like a spiritual essence, or
I think like a ghost. So I just like pull out this crystal. I'm like, I don't know. It's this new thing I got. I don't know exactly how it works yet, but I know that I can sense other things that we can't see right now.
interesting.
Earn with an
So-
18, you do save.
I don't have any
You
18, do I? I have a 13. Oh, I get a
13 plus 5. You're within Teth's. Yeah, you're within Teth's aura. You, as you pass over that hole in the bridge, you feel around your ankle. You can't see anything, but it feels as if a bony hand is grabbing at your leg. And you walk over it, and you can feel the tips of the finger bones scraping down the side of your leg as you pass across.
Ew. Guys, I don't like that, but there's definitely some invisible creepy hands trying to cop a feel.
I don't know why that disgusted me so much.
Does the bridge seem stable outside of that?
I rock a little bit on it.
Yeah, I won't even make you check. It feels pretty sturdy. You can tell on either side. It's not held together with ropes or anything. It seems to be secured into the stone of either side of this little chasm here. Feels pretty stable.
Do above game do because I can never find it, but I feel like it exists. Can paladins turn undead? Is that just a cleric feature? Because I still have channel divinity.
I know some paladins can.
Yeah,
I think it's just cleric
cleric.
though.
Okay,
Is it
that's
cleric? Yeah,
I think it might be a
it's
class
cleric
you
channel
choose.
divinity.
Or
okay.
some-
Because I can still do other stuff with it, but it's subclass specific stuff.
Yeah, because clerics get channel divinity, and one of their built-in channel divinity options is turn undead, and then they get one other subclass specific one.
Okay.
And I will say that Brackle can confirm that this place is teeming with spirits, and they are not harming you all yet. So they don't screw that up. But right now they seem to be very neutral.
Yeah.
Wait, even the one that was trying to grab me, did that feel neutral?
Roll insight actually.
The
It wasn't
bony
trying to
hands
murder you. It was just trying
scraping
to
your
violate
ankles.
you.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can tell.
Also, got a feeling there could be more than a couple of ghosts here.
11, right down the middle. It's not low enough to get bad information, but not quite high enough to really be able to assess that correctly. Just kind of freaky. Just freaks you out a little bit.
These boards are narrow. Could I just advise the group to be quick and jump over these gaps?
Sure.
Okay. I tell the
You
group.
can advise all you like.
Unless you guys think we should patch these up, I think maybe just jumping and clearing them might be good.
I can stay on this side and make sure everybody gets across first.
Who's got their woodworkers tools?
I think also maybe going in pairs would be a good idea, as long as it can support the weight. And Teth's gonna go
Ooh.
protect Burn.
Could I go into my workshop and whip up a board?
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay. I do that. There might just be some raw material in there.
How big is the workshop compared to Norman?
Compared to Norman, he's a little bit bigger than the workshop. It's like if you think about like a Christmas tree ornament, that's about the size of the workshop.
Yeah.
It's like
I was
like
thinking
3
little
inches by
ceramic
2
Christmas
inches.
villages. Like those
Yeah,
little houses
exactly.
that you put candles
Yes, it is a
inside.
Christmas village workshop. That's what it looks like. Yeah.
So
but Norman's
it'd
just
be
a
a
little bit
Norman-sized workshop.
Being sold in a desert in Kazakh.
Yeah.
I'll put a board here then.
Kazoo.
Okay.
Or like if it's
Sucks.
easier, like a plank like this way maybe that they can walk across. I'm really bad at this. Do I
Yeah.
feel the ghost getting
That's fine.
angry that I'm covering up part of their, or do I feel nothing?
No, you don't feel any change.
And bony hands aren't like grabbing it or like making it wobble or anything.
Nope. You're not met with any adversity at all.
Okay. I made 2, and I put the second one over at this other gap.
Okay.
And I'll wait here to make sure the rest of the group gets cleared, I guess. Or starts like make it across, okay.
Great.
I will follow Vern.
Eric loads the sanctified crossbow bolts.
Oh, okay.
One of those into his crossbow.
Make a actually
Intimidation check.
A creature. That was one of the things I was thinking of, but I don't know that would be your intention, Eric. A creature that you can't see is going to make an insight check to see what the purpose of that would be. If they roll low, it's not gonna be good.
Not good. Yeah.
Oh my
God. Jesus Christ. All right, it's been good knowing you, Vern. We're about to get swallowed up by a bunch of fucking souls.
Eric, you are about to deal with an onslaught of attacks that nobody else is going to be able to see. So this is what's going to happen. The moment you load that into your crossbow, I need you to make 2 wisdom saves. A DC. Let's do the first one first. It's a DC 14 wisdom save, please.
Okay. I have some advantages. Being charmed, plants, magic, spells, magical effects.
Yeah, I would say it's a magical effect.
Okay, so advantage. So it's a
Yeah, that
27.
saves.
Okay.
And then the second one is a DC 19. Okay.
Okay. 27.
Fair. And then 2 more saves. 1 intelligence, which is a DC 18.
Okay, do I advantage? I guess
Yes.
can't do better than that. So
Nope. And the last one is a charisma save. This is the heavy hitter. This is going to be a DC 21, Eric.
oh boy, I need a crit on that.
Charisma.
I needed it.
Oh my
got it.
god.
Wow, we got it.
Gee,
Holy fuck.
Okay. So you saved on all 4. The first 2 were curses. So you are going to you're saved from getting cursed twice, 2 different curses. The second one is going to deal some psychic damage, but you saved, so it will be halved for you. Oof. Wow. Yeah, so 16 psychic damage for you, Eric.
Okay.
And then the last one was the charisma save. That is going to be 14 psychic damage for you.
Okay.
And I also need a dexterity saving throw from you, Eric. This is not a magical effect, so you will not have advantage on this one. This is not mental, though. This is not going to be... That is going to be contested.
this is going to teach Eric from trying to protect his friends in the future.
Exactly.
How dare he?
This is going to be contested with a survival check from this entity. Eric, you will not see this, but you will feel a very similar effect that Vern felt on the bridge. It will feel like large, bony hands are grabbing at your arms, and they are going to take your crossbow.
Hmm.
So they
Can I-
beat you by 10. You can attempt to make a strength save
Wow.
uh,
Not good at
to
that.
keep it.
Luckily, Eric,
They
you'll be
beat
able to
me
get
by how much?
Cassis's crossbow once we're done.
I-
Here, so
I'd have to crit, I think, with a -2 strength save modifier.
I will roll a strength save to contest, or an athletics check rather.
Can I do?
Okay, so you have to beat a 17 strength saving throw.
Can I do resistance?
This
I know it's kind of reactiony, but
I would not allow resistance, unfortunately.
all right, let's strength save it up. Whoa.
Okay.
Ooh.
So with a 17, you meet the save. You save your crossbow. They're just gonna take the bolt. So you see or you feel, just like Vern did, these tips of these bony hands scraping across the surfaces of your arms and scratch across the wood of your crossbow and try and take it, but you hold on just enough to keep it in your grasp. They do, however, grasp onto the bolt itself, and it is lost down to the canyon.
Okay. Okay, so if I disarm, kind of trying to whatever is left in my case of bolts, just sort of
Yeah,
keep
for
it.
clarity, they only took 1. So you still have
Right.
all the other. I can't remember exactly how many you had, like 6 or 7 or something like that.
Yeah,
You
I
have
just
all the
wanna
other
keep
ones.
a lid on my case, and
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Okay. Yeah, just gonna try to be unarmed
Jesus.
and
I can't win.
say
There's nothing I can do to beat you guys.
I get it, I get it.
Can't escape it. All right. How are you all crossing now that two of you have had brushes with whatever spirits are in here, and Brackle is aware of all of them? Brackle, you would experience a surge of spirits when that happens too. Your radius fills up. You're muted. Your radius fills up with so many, almost doubling the amount that are around you and Urzak and Eric.
Okay, I will say, all right, guys, let me try something. Brackle pulls out a broom of flying, goes straight up in the air 40 feet, and then flies across the channel.
Yeah, that works.
I'm okay, guys. Nothing happened.
I'm so glad.
You will notice the higher up you go, Brackle,
Mm-hmm.
the less spirits there are within your radius. They seem
Okay.
to be condensed down towards the ground, specifically within the chasm.
Okay. I'll tell them that. I think most or all of these entities are below the bridge or just underneath it at height. So if there's any way to raise yourself up, that might be the way to go.
And also, let's lay down our arms.
I'm not taking my arms off.
Says the only person who drew arms.
Everybody calm down. I can actually send the broom within a mile of myself to any place that I name. So I can send the broom back over to the other side. If you want me to break your encounter like that.
No, that's fine. I already got to steal a rare crossbow bolt from Brad, so
I'll hail the broom of flying
I will send the Bruber over.
taxi.
right. Yeah, anybody that wants to take it can take it. Teth.
How much do you weigh, Teth? Actually, how much do you weigh, Urzak?
Less than Urzak.
Urzak, how much do you weigh?
It's something ridiculous, like 500 something with gear.
Yeah.
Okay, so Urzak can't use it.
Yeah.
Teth,
is
you're the
just
same
under
thing?
that,
Okay.
basically, yeah.
It can hold 400 pounds.
I think this bridge is perfectly fine as Teth.
Yeah, I feel good. I feel good too.
Okay.
And I can always sprout wings. If I need.
Yeah, you would both know that it feels pretty secure. Teth, I would like you to make your choice: perception or survival.
Let's see. Perception is higher. 25 perception.
The 25, as you're crossing, especially as you get towards the middle of the bridge, again, you cannot see anything. It appears to be a completely empty chasm below you and Vern. You can hear the slight rumblings as if there was rushing water beneath you, like a rapid.
There's clearly nothing there, or is it unseeable?
Clearly, no water. You cannot see anything down there. Just the cave walls or the stone walls, the stone floor at the base, and these amethyst crystals jutting out of the walls. You hear what sounds like water rushing below the bridge.
Was it out loud whenever it was mentioned about the bleeding of the plains, or was that something internally that Brackle had during his legend lore, or am I trying to remember where that came from?
That was during the. But I think
That was
outside
during the
you
Legend of
knew it
Lore.
though.
I think that that was part of the stuff that seems to be common knowledge for the typical citizen. You could always make a religion check to see how deep your knowledge of Cassis goes.
Yeah, specifically, what I'm trying to determine, what I'm thinking, I don't know if Teth will put this together, is that this is a basically a spot where the planes are intermingling. So I don't know what that check would be.
Roll religion for me.
13.
I think you would make the connection. It is relatively common knowledge that Cassis has either directly or indirectly access to any plane of existence, and you would know that there are several places on the continent where it's easier to peer between planes. I don't know that your information. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I don't know that you would fully grasp how thin the veil is here, but you could assume with a 13 that this is, especially being a temple to the god of death and the underworld. This is a good bet that this is probably one of those places.
Got it. The veil is thin, specifically here, but I'm sure the rest of the temple as well. Should probably try to keep moving. And will move with Vern as he traverses at some point.
The two of you make it across with no trouble. And Eric, you are traveling back across on the broom, correct?
Uh-huh.
Norman, just kind of at his own pace, will be trotting across the bridge too. Which leaves Urzak. You just gonna walk across, or what's your plan of action?
I'm muted. I'm just walking across.
Hell yeah. Make an acrobatics check.
So good at that.
What are you good at? I feel like every check I ask you for, your response is, "Oh, I'm so
Another 9.
good at that."
Yeah.
What is happening?
Dude.
Trent. He got Trent's
Again?
roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Middle of the road enough, not low enough to garner any unwanted attention, not low enough to fail, certainly. With a 9, you don't technically meet the DC, but you, very similarly to Vern, are going to. You don't feel anything or see anything, but you hear echoes of clawing on the edges of the whatever this is called, the bridge. Jesus Christ. What happened in my brain just now? There's really slow, long, dragging scrapes around the edges of this bridge that you can hear as you're crossing. But you make it over without any difficulty. Even with a head start, you actually beat Norman. He's just jaunting across this bridge.
Can I pick him up on the way?
You sure can. Yeah. He will protest again, but it's not much he can do about it.
It's just like how we got picked up and carried by Bill.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
We got swooped.
On this side, could I have all of you make...
Eric casts resistance. On Breckle.
I will allow resistance. That's fine.
Yes.
Could all of you make a... Because it doesn't matter for what I'm going to ask. A medicine check, please.
I'm resistant to medicine.
I'm waiting for you to do that, like to do the make a check thing. or make a save thing, but it to be just out of the blue, just like make a death saving throw. It is cast like
Is it
Maybe. You never
is
know.
it at all nature-based medicine?
Absolutely not.
Sorry.
Sorry, Eric.
Dude, I genuinely think medicine and nature need to be flipped. I think nature needs to be wisdom and medicine needs to be intelligence. Those two
I
never
agree.
make sense to me.
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
Very much.
I agree 100%.
Yep.
Honestly, based on the specific checks, I feel like I have not done this enough, but I would be very interested in swapping some of the actual ability scores that are used for some of these more passive checks, because some of them do not make sense.
kind of like the whole intimidation, strength based intimidation,
Mhm.
stuff like that.
Yeah. Like there are totally situations that warrant a strength based intimidation. Like Urzak beating the shit out of those guards and arm wrestling. Like they're totally strength based. Let's see.
I was always
So
a
this
fan
is-
of like constitution-based athletics, like stamina.
Yeah. Constitution based athletics or constitution based acrobatics if you're doing a lot of maneuvering and stuff. So this is not a pass or fail thing. This is just a spectrum of knowledge of what's going on with your bodies. Vern, you know the least. You were the first one across. You're a little bit distracted still. Your focus is mainly on the leg that was almost grabbed by that skeletal hand. That's still kind of shaking you. So you're not completely aware of what's happening yet. Moving up with that, Teth, you just have less bodily awareness in general. You're not made of organic matter, so this just doesn't come as naturally to you. It may not even be affecting you the same way that it's affecting everybody else. So you still feel relatively normal. Urzak, however, this is moving into these scores that. Also, all of you have +5.
Oh.
I just remember that. All of you have +5 from Teth. So I'll keep doing that. So Vern, you still are a little bit shaken with a 10. You don't know much different. With a 15, Teth, you start to feel a change in the setting of your orb. The vibration and the pulse of your orb is arrhythmic now. It is almost the opposite of what it was before. I don't know if you ever played any instruments or if you're a musical person at all. But if you're thinking like if the pulse of your orb was like on the beat before, it's now on the off beats.
Yeah.
Totally opposite of what it was before.
Yep.
Moving on up,
Yeah,
Urzak with a 16.
just ask a weird question.
Yeah.
Why is Teth giving us a +5 to a ability check?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say, but I didn't quit.
Not a saving throw, right?
It's not a saving throw. I was thinking
I probably
Eric.
I wasn't going to question
Eric's resistance had me thrown off.
Yeah,
I thought I was going to be the coolest cat.
I was like, does Teth have a super mega dick aura now? Like,
I just have a guidance aura.
+5 for everything.
It's how big is it now? I forget.
Oh,
20
it's
feet.
big.
20 foot.
Oh, it's big.
20 foot.
Oh, you guys can't see that? Can you see the bubble?
No,
This
I
big
don't-
robot wiener.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm.
you have to
Should be
toggle
able
it to
to.
show other people, I think.
Andrew.
Hmm.
Aaron has to cut everything now.
He's
There
the
you go.
one. You can say
Should
robot
be able
wiener on television.
Yeah.
Prove it.
we get one F-bomb and we can retain our PG-13 status.
Yeah.
Okay, so I
Yeah,
don't. That doesn't notice anything.
so Teth does not notice anything. Urzok begins at the floor of the awareness.
And I didn't mean to say cut for anyone who's traumatized by, circumcision or.
Oh my God.
Oh, now we got to cut that. You're talking about mutilation.
That's where we draw the line.
That's right.
I had a front row seat to my son's circumcision. Basically, nothing happens. It's so quick. I didn't even realize it was happening.
Did he realize it was happening?
I'm sure he did, but I bet he doesn't remember it now. I'm sure in the moment he was like, "What are you doing to me? Please stop."
Beat us up.
Oh God, you're taking the whole thing. Urzok, at the very low end of actually realizing what's going on, you feel lighter. Your body feels lighter. That's about the extent of it for you. Unnaturally lighter. You've journeyed a lot of different places, and you've never felt this light, even without your equipment.
Fucking stone guys.
Mm-hmm.
High as a kite over here.
So it's those mushrooms, man.
You're not supposed to smoke.
Who's next? Eric. Eric with a 19. You have enough acuity as far as the natural world is concerned to know that something has changed within you at a near molecular level. Everything around you feels different. Everything around you feels synthetic almost. You'd get the idea that if you attempted to plant a tree here or cultivate a plant here, that it may survive for a little bit with intense tending, but not for very long by itself.
Okay.
And with a 21, Bracklebaff. I don't know how to describe this without using above table mechanics, but you feel like your creature type is changing.
That's some good shit, guys.
Might be getting a little too close to the underworld, maybe.
Yeah, with your experience, this is not something like you were born deep in the ground. Maybe not born there, but you spent a considerable amount of time deep in the ground, way deeper than you are right now, and you've never felt this. So it is clearly a proximity thing to whatever this place is, not a direct dive towards the underworld. This place is highly concentrated with some type of extremely necromantic magic. One thing that all of you realize, or all of you may not realize that everybody else is feeling the same thing, but all of you get an overwhelming feeling of ease. You don't feel threatened. Even though you feel all of these immense changes, it does not feel scary necessarily. Maybe for Vern, who is not as in tune with it yet. But to everybody else, you oddly feel okay.
Hey guys, does anybody feel weird being down here?
Nope.
I'm a little hungry, but
I feel Great.
All right. Well, that's weird. I think
Did you have some bad milk earlier?
Yeah. I
I,
ate some vinegar chips and then drank some heavy cream.
I did my regular vinegar milk shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can,
I,
Can
can I do
I
like a
can't
little
say-
further check?
I can't say for certain, guys, but I think we're kind of on a ticking clock.
What
Uh,
makes you say that?
Divine sense.
I think we're I'm feeling a little more undead than I usually do.
Divine
Meaning-
sense on Brackle.
Meaning 0.
Are you actually popping in divine sense?
Yeah, I think so.
How does your divine sense register for you specifically, Teth? How would you assume that this those creatures that you would be able to detect populate in your vision?
I think that they would be like flashes of like a color. So like because it's a pretty brief thing, right? It's like a pop it goes off and then it ends. So I think it would be typically it's like different creature types. I think there'd be like a color associated with it. So if it was celestial, it'd be like a bright white. If it was fey, it'd be green. It's something akin to that, right?
What color is undead to you?
Let's say black.
Your whole field of vision just goes dark for a second.
Oh.
You're kind of surrounded by your companions. So you have one of them kind of on most of your sides, and then the other side that you're not looking at them is the cavern, or is the canyon down below. As your divine sense pulse goes out, there is so much undead energy here. It's almost overwhelming. It's crazy to you taking this in, not just from an undead standpoint, from a divine sense standpoint. You've never registered this many creatures at once with one pop. And you also can't believe that they're all the same type.
Okay.
It's just like hundreds of creatures around you.
All right. Brackle is correct. Nothing but undead.
Death everywhere. Death everywhere. Eric, you asked for a check before, and I missed which skill it was. What were you asking to do?
Oh, okay. So if it's synthetic and the wilds was so magical, but yet natural, is what we see still a physical landscape? That's all. It's just as far as it's going to be something that we can move and expect certain laws like gravity, or am I getting something totally else where there's going to be different rules? And that,
I
and
think
I'm not going to check that is at all. God, nature, if anything.
Yeah, throw me a nature check. Maybe synthetic was not the right word for me to use. But let's see what
Like
this check is. No.
artificial. I don't know.
Yeah, that was probably a mistake on my part. Roll nature and let's go from there. Yeah, with a 26, this obviously is all natural formation. You can see both with your eyes and feel with your senses that this is still a piece of the same mountain. So your rational brain is telling you that this is in the wilds. You're still in this location. Another part of your brain is telling you that it's devoid of what makes the wilds so chaotic. What was your original roll? A 19. That's not that much lower than Breckle. With that plus your nature check, you get the idea that this place, as you cross this bridge, siphons off the necromantic pieces of the weave and leaves everything else behind. So if the wilds is a chaotic explosion of all types of magic weaving itself together and spilling out into the material plane, this place is just the necromancy strain of that
Mm-hmm.
compacted into this mountain.
Okay. Okay.
I think Brackle's right. I think we should make haste.
I would
Come on,
just let
Norman.
I would just let you all know that, you know, we're under some different expectations now. It seems Cassis has a firm grip and lots of necromancy magic and inside of this, area. That's it.
All right, Norman. Point the way.
He will point you forward. There's really only one clear way to go from here, which is up to the left. And he will steer you directly into that place, into that direction.
Yeah.
One thing that you all begin to notice, I don't think a check is necessary here. As you go, you start to really notice the silence of this place. The wilds weren't, bustling with creatures or anything, but at least it had natural sounds. Like the wind would make sounds, rocks rustling, your feet would make sounds on the ground. This place, even your footsteps, you can feel the weight of your body hitting the ground. You can feel the ground beneath your feet. The further in you get here, it seems like the sounds that your body would naturally make interacting with the world around you, just the volume is getting turned down. The dial is slowly going to the left the further in you go. Till you come upon oh, I don't have any of your tokens here. This is me being prepared.
Eric kind of wants to sort of maybe gain some hospitality or welcoming from Norman
Okay.
and just say this place is worthy of, maintaining its undying. I can see why you take such great care of your home.
Thanks. I love it here.
Norman, how did you write your name on the rock face in front of this temple with no digits? Just
Real
you.
questions.
Pertinent information we're digging for right now. He'll answer candidly. He'll say, "Oh, one of the weave wardens of the wilds did that for me. It's just so I remember where I can enter and exit from the mountain. It all kind of looks the same from the outside, you know."
Yeah. Got to go on those grocery runs, huh? And then trying to see why he's going in and out.
I love this conversation happening while we are like literally in a thin place between life and death. We're talking.
Eric always
It's like-
keeps it light.
Trying to keep it lighthearted.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sorry about your door.
Yes, sorry we ruined the one thing that's familiar to you about this mountain.
Nice.
Okay.
It
Ursak
happens.
with Norman.
So stone touch or stone shape is instantaneous, but I wonder how long the effect lasts. Like it doesn't seem like it.
From what I remember, Stone Shape is like a real quick like blast, and it just makes it a new version of whatever it is, like however you want to shape it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There is definitely other spells that are similar to that. I think it's like Shape Earth or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. Where it's more like you can kind of control it, and it's more like concentration based.
And you can end it. Okay.
Yeah, it's like you can kind of be a little more
It's
creative with
its
it.
description is saying that I can't really do mechanical detail, but says 2 hinges and a latch. Could I
There you go.
leave a space for at least like a padlock or something? If he ever needs to
yeah.
lock the temple. Okay.
Whatever. Yeah, Norman guides you along this corridor, growing more and more silent. Your external bodies against the floor, or if you touch anything on the walls, they will slowly make less and less sound. The purple streaks throughout the walls and the floor become more common. They're closer to each other. You also see more groupings of these amethysts jutting out of the walls and the floor. And they seem to be glowing brighter the further in you go. I'm going to put you onto a new map. There's going to be a big doorway where light is shining through. As you get to this giant doorway, it will be black at first. The doorway will be black. So it doesn't look quite like this as you approach. This is where Norman will lead you. You'll see up in front of you, there are two converging sets of stairs up to the same platform. The door up here, there is no light coming through. This is all dark back here. There's also a stairway heading down, up to your left.
Hey Norman, where does that stairway to the left go?
Down!
Down where?
Down to the canyon floor. The base
What?
of the canyon.
Oh,
Down
okay.
to the base of the canyon.
Oh, it's
To the
just
base
like,
of the canyon.
like an exit?
No, it goes down to the base of the canyon. I don't go down there much.
Why?
Why not?
I don't like it down there.
Because of the ghosts?
I mean, well, you know, yeah, a number of things. It just it feels bad down there. I just don't like going down there. You know.
Are you chicken?
No, no.
He's not a chicken.
I mean, maybe.
He's a ball of astral makeup.
Do we want these questions
Celestial
actually
Stardust.
answered?
You know,
Actually,
Norman
yeah.
475 wasn't a coward.
675.
675.
675.
475. He was all right.
Yeah, kind of
Norman 475. Here's one. Norman 332 has a bone to pick with every other Norman. Is what you're gonna find as you go through these.
If you say that, Barlos, we're gonna ask intermittently about different relationships with various Normans.
Yep.
Get ready.
Perfect.
You just gave us like 1,000 different questions we can.
Great. There are so many different locations on this map that you're never gonna get to. So it's great. Say, listen about one thing you need to know about 475 or whatever number you just said. I can't remember what it was.
That's correct.
He got the cushiest placement, and he should never complain about being up in those lofty mountains because nothing ever happens up there.
I do have a relevant question, actually.
What can happen to a Norman?
I'm gonna circle back to that.
Yeah.
Ursak, do you have a question?
What can you tell us about Norman Prime?
Norman.
That's actually a good question. First Norman. Norman 001. Well, there are a couple stories
I
about
hate
Norman
him.
001.
Fucking asshole.
What a shit Norman he was.
Let me tell you about Norman
Absolute
001.
disgrace. Let me tell you something about Norman 001. Yeah, what a true piece of garbage he was. Norman 001 is also stationed in the wilds. He is a very special placement. He wasn't always considered special, but once aspects started being created, he didn't really have a choice but to stay where he was. He's stationed at a place called the Vault of the Gods. That's a place that it seems the energies of all of these temples kind of converge. He's the guardian of that place. There have been rumors that say that Norman 001 or Norman Prime, I guess is what you're calling him, he can power a divine palate that allows creatures, mortal creatures that normally wouldn't have access to this type of travel, passage to other universes.
I don't want to deflate the wind in your sails, but we kind of already knew that. So were you guys a copy
okay.
of Prime, or is he just another iteration of all of you?
Well, he I mean, there is a physical body involved, which is a big advantage for 001. I think that was kind of tried. They tried to replicate that for 002, and it didn't. Just structurally unsound. 002 died so quick. So it's just pretty much 001 and then 004 onward. 003 hated everything and just took itself out. But the rest of us have found a lot of purpose in serving the gods of Azura without bodies or fingers or brains.
So he was built first, and you were all built in the image of him.
Yes, correct.
Interesting. Anyway, which one? That big dark door up there.
Oh, that big dark door. Well, I've never been through there. I'm not allowed to go up there. That is the threshold of Cassis. At least that's what I call it. I don't know if it has an official name.
They kind of just
That's where
Stuck
we
you
need to
down.
go, right?
You both said something at the same time. I
Sorry.
don't know what you said. I'm sorry.
Go Urzak.
Urzak, go first.
Right, depart. So that's where we're supposed to go then, I presume.
I think I've never seen the orb. I've never seen anything holding the power of Cassis, regardless of shape and size, with my own eyes. But I presume that that's probably where it is if you're looking for it.
The logical question is, how do you protect something that you don't know where it's at? But beyond searching for logic,
I don't even have a good answer for you.
I know you don't.
We're programmed for very specific things. I think probably in the event of asking questions that we don't have the capacity to answer, we just go crazy. So it's probably a good thing that I've been here by myself all these years.
You tried dividing 0 by 0.
Let me think about that for a second.
No, don't.
You'll catch him just in time to stop him from thinking about dividing 0 by 0.
Math was
Alright.
different.
I can teach you about that later if you want. It's pretty easy,
It
actually.
sounds fascinating and something I would love to spend hours doing.
See, there's the concept of infinity, right? But it's actually can define infinity as an ideal, but it's also a definable number. And as you approach it, you're approaching a finite value, right?
Vern will start approaching the door.
Norman will, as you start to approach, Norman will say, "Wait! I don't know what's back there. I can't warn you about something I don't know."
This is the only way there is to go, though, right, Norman?
Yeah, that or down. But I don't like going down there.
I think it's been
Would you like-
decided then.
Would you like to come with us, Norman?
No, I am curious, but also I really don't want to go.
But you weren't allowed
But I've
to
never
go.
really been anywhere but these corridors.
Doesn't it
Nor-
sound so exciting and interesting to go to someplace you've never been before?
Or any Norman has ever been before.
You could be the first Norman.
I could be the first Norman. I could be the new first Norman. Buckle up, world! Through the door we go!
All right.
001.
Go.
I think you set him down. He's like a little wind-up toy, and he just like goes, but like at his short little legs can let him go, and we're just
We
like, how could we ever keep up?
I'm assuming we walk through the door with Norman leading us.
Who is going first? Is Urzak going first?
Norman's going first.
Yeah,
Norman.
he
Oh.
with all of his fervor and excitement, I'll set him down on
Gotcha,
the top of the stairway and let him march his way in.
Great. Yeah. So, yeah, Norman, very excitedly, he'll jump down out of your arms, Razak, and he'll run right up to this threshold here. And he'll turn around. He'll say, "I'll see you on the other side, everyone. Don't forget to tell anyone you meet that you have been traveling with the first Norman." And he will turn around and cross this black threshold, and his whole body will promptly explode into little bits.
Right.
Got
So this canyon, can't be that bad.
We got him.
can't be worse than an implosion.
I just think he
Yeah.
can't go in there.
You think we can?
Yeah, I think so.
He tried to divide.
Braco, lead the way.
Yeah,
Did
you
he
heard
try to
that.
divide by 0, Urzak?
It's,
that was his final thought, is trying to do that, and that's why he exploded.
Yeah,
Unrelated.
I'll go in first.
the
Let's see.
infinite impossibilities of 0 divided by 0. But yeah, Norman is totally gone.
There are hundreds more.
and now we have a way to fucking exterminate them.
Listen,
Just keep
I
throwing them in.
Commit Norman genocide.
Eric announces this is now called the threshold of 332.
Threshold of 332. Pour one out for 332 next time you're at the tavern. Oh, Norman. Who are you going to get all of your hot takes about the other Normans from now?
I know.
Hmm.
if I had to listen to that much longer, it was going to be another Shapiro incident.
Funnily enough, Norman has had more hit points than Ken Shapiro. Sitting at a cool 11, which was way more, well, not way more, but 3 more than Ken had.
Great.
Hilarious.
All right, Breckles now walks
Yeah.
in. What happens to him?
I am going to try and open the door, or if there's just a void there.
It is so do not read more into this than you need to. It is not above table. The same thing as the threshold when you found Coil. So it's not a Weave Warden threshold. But it is very similar in the fact that it looks like a black curtain. It looks like a veil that you can walk through. You would notice. Make a perception check, actually.
$16.
With the 16, you probably would have been close enough to see that parts of Norman's body passed through this before he exploded. So you know that it is not a solid surface. It is able to be passed through.
Can I do like an arcana check? See if it's like
How close is Brackle to the veil?
I would say I'm
feet
like
away?
a foot or two away.
I'm fucking pushing him.
Push him.
I'm fucking pushing the shit out of him.
All right, that's
Starts looking, starts analyzing it. Just
that's a move.
Oh god. I mean, do I even bother asking for a contested strength between Urzak and Brackle?
Sure.
Like, no chance at
It was
all.
close last time. Maybe I trip and fall in instead.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Go ahead and each
There's
of you
no-
roll athletics for me, please.
No reason not to, right? Oh, I can't.
Yeah,
I can't-
Well, now
I
there's
can't
no
beat that,
reason to even roll.
well, if I get a nat 20, that's the only.
If you get a nat 20, I will call it an even trade. A valiant effort. A valiant effort. 18 for Brackle is pretty good.
I think just
Urzak,
a reaction I would like.
How
try.
are you? Do you have a reaction that you could use here? Do you have anything that is an actual like mechanical reaction in the game? That would be your last ditch effort here.
can cry as a free action.
I can. The only thing I could do, which would be use title defense and make him. And no, it's not an attack roll. So nope.
No, there's just this little back and forth between them, and Razak's like, "Well, I guess we're going down." And Brackle's like, "No, fuck it, I'll go in." And then he's like being trepidatious and like looking at things, and it's taken a couple seconds too long. And Urzak just, oops.
Great. Brackle, you are sent sailing through the veil. Urzak, as if he was not even there, he disappears behind it immediately, and you do not see him anymore. Notably, he doesn't explode, so that's good. Urzak, I need a wisdom saving throw from you, please.
Wouldn't it be terrible if you just killed him?
It'd be interesting.
It would have been a different campaign after that.
Right? Sekula's like, God damn it!
So close with
Way
that
to
one.
make an enemy of
Yeah, it's like, are you
Oh,
fucking
God.
It
kidding?
would have been some kind of karma for Arbantis, though, right?
That is true. That is true.
Am I within 20 feet of Teth?
Looks like you're.
I was definitely approaching, but I just kind of stopped there. So
Yeah,
I-
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
It's a cool 8.
With an 8, Urzak, as you push Brackle through, your fingers accidentally graze the veil, and you also are pulled through with him. You are sucked down into the veil too. I will get to the two of you in a second. I would love to see the reaction of the other three of you first, though.
It's actually like Urzak does, like, pushes him and like he doesn't explode. He goes, huh, well, and, like shrugs and like his finger from the shrug touches it and then he zips back over.
Vern will take a few steps and he's going to like use his grappler arm to try to like retrieve one of them, but then he remembers how Norman exploded and holds back his arm so his arm won't explode because he values that more than his friends, I guess.
if either of you push me in, I'm going to be pissed.
I don't know if either of them have the strength to push you in.
Yeah.
I don't think it's even possible for them.
You know, with the immediate reaction, though, outside of that is going to be Teth pulls out his sending orb to Dez,
Ooh, okay.
and
Go
he's
for
going to go. Not sure if this is working in here, inside the Temple of Cassis, going beyond the veil. Wish us luck. Stay safe.
You will get an immediate response. And he will. You know that Dez is a pretty stoic individual. Does not often show big emotion. You would get the read that he is a bit uneasy. He's not sure about this, and he will ask if you need assistance.
I don't think so.
Yeah, sure, come on, we'll wait for you.
Urzak and Brackle have already gone in, and we should probably follow shortly.
He will say, "Very well. You stay safe as well, my friend."
I think we're going to die and be reborn.
Oh. Okay.
What?
That's what.
What the fuck?
Say that again?
That's what Teth thinks.
It's the last thing that
Excuse me?
Dez ever hears from Teth.
Better
Fine.
than we've traveled with Norman, the first Norman.
Yeah, that's what Dez, or not Dez. That's what Teth thinks. From the vision and then to this.
Dez will actually Dez will make a quick religion check, actually. Jez is just he trusts you. Say if you think that's what's best,
Oh, I don't think we have a choice.
please proceed with caution.
I think it's a trial.
Please die carefully.
Yeah, please use extreme caution in the event that you do actually just die outright.
Okay.
I'm going to switch back to Brackle and Urzak real quick. Brackle, going through the veil first, you can still sense, so you're pretty sure you're not dead.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is black. Everything is extremely cold. You can't feel any floor beneath you. You can't feel any walls around you, but you still feel like you have some semblance of control over the motion of your body. So you feel like you have the aptitude to walk around, but you're not really sure how or where you would even go because you can't feel any solid surfaces. There's no smell. There's no light. There's no tangible tether, like sensory tether for you at all. You could be upside down and you would not know it.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Nice. Not a spell or magical effect.
I would say no. It's not coming from another creature. It is an all-encompassing
Okay.
gravity that you are checking against right now.
Oh. 19.
With a 19, you feel yourself being pulled downward. There's no pain, and again, you have this really strange sense that you are not in danger. In fact, this might be the most calm you have felt since before entering the wilds. It has been pretty consistent alertness since you've started out on this journey, specifically this leg of the journey, and you feel all of the weight, that's the stress of being on all the time, melt away as you're here behind the veil. What seems like maybe 30 minutes pass, and you hear a very deep bass sound, almost like you're really deep underwater and you hear somebody else jump in to the water like 30 feet away from you. Like you can still hear it, but you can't really tell exactly where it's coming from. Urzak, that is you launching through the veil. You experience the exact same things: coldness, darkness, uncertainty of which way is up or down.
Urzak completely relents to the relaxation. This is like
He's deserved it. He's probably the most tense person in this whole campaign.
it's like used to paying for this kind of treatment. Just relaxes and lets it happen.
Yeah, what are those? What are those things called? Like the
sensory deprivation chambers.
The deprivation tanks. Yeah, that's exactly what this is like. It's a celestial sensory deprivation tank, essentially. Brackle, you came in first, so you are going to reach this destination before Urzak does. This is maybe 45, 50 minutes, it feels like to you. You're floating around in this darkness. you finally feel ground beneath your feet. As your feet touch, you can't see the ground. You still can't see anything around you. Your body begins to warm up to what feels like a semi-normal temperature once you hit the ground here, and your feet make almost a purple pulse when your feet hit this ground around where your feet land. There are little purple pulses that go out and then kind of fade away. And testing this, you'd be able to walk around a little bit, and anytime you take a step, you're just making little purple pulses like ripples in the surface of a pond. About a half an hour after this, Urzak, you also touch down, and maybe 50 feet in front of you, you see small purple pulses. You don't see anything else. You hit ground as well, and you see your feet making the same visualizations. And you would assume that somebody is up ahead of you, and your best guess is that it's Bracklebath.
Fireball.
You don't know for sure. Yeah,
Counterspell.
done. Kill him twice. Kill him twice. Let's jump back to the other three. What are you guys doing? Because it has been still less than a minute since they have gone through to the other side.
I'm gonna look at Eric and look at Teth and shrug, and then jump into the veil.
All right. Eric sneezes.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like the honors, Eric? Or shall I
Yep.
go first?
Teth, I will lead the way and be reassured that you're there to follow behind and
Hold me in my time of need.
Giving a lead the way speech. He's going in fourth.
So valiant, so brave.
He was going to do it, but you guys jumped in. Of
Yeah,
course,
the first two were not intentional, so really he's just competing for first with Vern here.
mm,
Yeah, it didn't.
Then
exist.
lost, of course.
Jump.
Vern's already
Mhm.
gone.
Yeah, Eric, you can approach the veil and cross through with ease. And Teth, you are left alone in silence.
Oh, I was gonna say, I only hope that it's like, plunging, through the ocean water. You don't always know what's underneath. Sometimes there's murky water. But Teth, I assure you we'll find each other on the other side.
Sounds good. Teth.
Is still listening through the sending stones. What the fuck are you guys doing down there?
Before
What
I
is happening?
Oh, shit, I thought I hung this up.
I thought I turned it off.
Teth will take out his
Here's
snow
my
globe.
will.
Then he'll kind of give it a little whirl. I'm gonna stare at it for a minute. Well, not an actual minute, for let's say 15, 20 seconds, kind of certain himself. Briefly have a flashback of snow and vulnerability, and that was hilarious.
What?
Hey, make sure
That
we
was
all
weird.
watch that.
Okay, still happening. I know one of the cats walked behind
You did
my
you did go through
computer,
a
so I
veil.
think
Oh,
he
no.
thinking that thing not done.
Yeah, he would just have a quick moment by himself, and then he'll tuck the snow globe back in and hop in through.
And that is where we're going to end the session for tonight.
All right.
Ooh.
Hey,
Whoa.
To the unknown.
To
Good
the,
ending, guys. That
the
couldn't have
purple
been timed
beyond.
more perfectly.
yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah,
That's
we're
for sure.
working on it. We're working on it.
I like this dungeon very much. It's going to be almost no combat, almost entirely narrative, but I like it a lot better than the Temple of Coralon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited.
You say no combat. Unless we.
He
cause
just stopped
some
putting.
combat.
He just stopped doing it.
The god of this thing is on your side. He's professed his
Love.
support to you. Yeah.
That is true.
You know, that was your opportunity, Barlos. He just used his rod of rulership.
I know. I know. Now is the time. Now I just need to get him to use his horn of the House Wellerby too.
Yeah, his Vernlings out.
Get rid of the Vernlings.
Yep.
That's on God, what the fuck's his name? Visic's like checklist, like to take down Vern. It's like have him use horn and rod prior
Must be
to
done
fight.
within a 24-hour period.
Right.
Yeah.
Vern has like fucking Horcruxes.
You can never kill Vern. He's undying.
Vern has very specific lines of defense in place.
That's what happens when you kill his family in front of him when he's like 8.
That's right.
It's
I
true.
safeguard to make
Yeah.
sure
Right?
this part of the lineage isn't going away.
Yeah.
He wasn't safe from himself, apparently, because he chopped off his arm in an accident, but
And lost
from
his eye.
outside
Yeah.
forces.
But
And lost
Yeah.
his eye.
he's doing his best.
He's really trying. He's his own worst enemy, really.
Yeah.
Well, awesome
Okay.
session,
All right,
guys. I appreciate y'all as always, and I look forward to next week.
You too.
All right.
Sounds good.
See you guys.
Hey
Dude.
guys.
Good night.
Later. Have a good night.